and the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Think orange for your next vehicle. OrangeBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because you deserve better. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, GREEN. 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 Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers.
You are now listening to The Jim Colbert Show on Real Radio 104.1.
That's right, guys. Here we go on a Monday edition of the Jim Colbert Show. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate that, as we do every single day, and we do have a banger for you today. We'll get you caught up on what's happening out there in the world. We'll do that at 3:20 with Woke News, our girl Deborah Roberts. 4 o'clock hour, it's sports with Brandon Kravitz. We'll talk Masters, Magic, Orlando City, and the upcoming WNBA draft. 5 o'clock hour, we'll do trivia. 6 o'clock, it's Ray Trendley. We'll end it up with You Heard It Here First, your calls, texts, and talkbacks, and 4 opportunities for you to win $1,000. Welcome to the program. I am Jim. To my left, my lovely and very dangerous co-host, Ms. Deb Roberts.
Hello there.
Straight ahead, producer Jack Bradshaw.
Good afternoon.
There you go, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Find us easily on social, Instagram and Facebook at The Jim Colbert Show. On Twitter, just at Jim Colbert Show. And, of course, all day, every day at JimColbertLive.com. Green is your 3 o'clock keyword, GREEN. Go to realradio.fm and send that away for your shot at $1,000. Green, guys. That is the word. If you want to leave a talk back, you can do that as well. And while you're doing that, check us out on YouTube. Go to JimColbertLive.com. Just click right through, and you can watch us do our thing. As far as a talk back, just get that iHeartRadio app. Use the microphone right there on Real Radio to send it on down the line. You'll hear a bunch of those today. How you guys doing today?
It's a beautiful day.
I think you used all your words.
I did. I'm done. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
All your words that a human should use in a day.
Yeah.
I save
you do
them
in the first 2 minutes of the show.
I save them up, Jack. Like money for a rainy day. Thanks, by the way, for covering for me Friday. That was an unfortunate happening in my life. I just had a bunch of things collapse on me at the last moment, and was incapable of making it because of timing issues that unfortunately ran up against a clock that I could not push back.
Totally not your fault.
It's
a shame that we don't have a mover. Like, there's not a company that can move and store items.
Fully didn't expect any of this.
Yeah.
Fully expected just you guys to just go, Jim, whatever you need, we got you covered.
Yeah.
Fully expected to get that exact treatment.
I read the Cento ad. The Jackie sack
and I've used
every
them
day.
like 3 times now. This is the only time because of the timing. I couldn't make it work. Sucks. And I wanted to see my son work. I'm going to be honest with you. All right, 407-916-1041. Yeah, my son and daughter helped me pack up. It's a lot. It's tough. I forget how hard that is to do. And, it's like that thing. You walk into your house just when you think you've gotten it all done. We're like, oh, there's only a few things left. We'll just dust this up. We'll be out of here in an hour. Well, that turned into like 9 hours because it's, inevitably when you see that stuff scattered out around, you don't give it enough credit.
Exactly.
For when you kind of put it in one area, how much stuff that is. And man, we had a lot of it. Do you guys have a lot of stuff, just stuff you don't use?
Yes.
Do you ever purge that? I got to tell you.
I would love to do a free market where you just bring like a bunch of stuff that,
Well, that happens. Look, you go to a marketplace or a Craigslist, they will put ads up there. Free. Everything on the curb today is free.
Yeah.
Come and get it. And just stick it out there with a big sign that says, take it. Trust me.
Take it.
Someone will take it. They will take it. We should have done that. The neighborhood we live in does not allow us to have, or lived in, I should say, would not allow us to have garage sales, which we would have. Oddly enough, and ironically, the neighborhood garage sale was the day after we moved out. We moved out. It's a true story. We moved out on the 12th. The community garage sale was on the 13th.
Oh, there you go.
But either way, we got out of there, and I thank you guys again for covering for me on Friday. I appreciate that very much. I have a couple questions for you.
All right.
Oh, boy.
One of them is a bit sensitive, and I want to ask a question.
Oh, my.
Oh, no.
We're starting out hot.
You're coming in hot.
All right.
Do you guys have any body, any issues with your body? Like any issues?
Jim, meet Deb.
Yeah.
You got any skin tags? You ever had a skin tag?
That.
Have you ever had a skin tag, Deb?
No.
Is it like a little? It looks like a mole, but
Right.
it's flat and it's kind of flappy, like one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a little flappy thing.
So you know what my issue is when there is a
Leave him alone.
Yeah, exactly. Any scammer, I could not handle a skin tag. It would be off.
So I had one under my arm. We talked about this before, and I think that's where you get them a lot. You can get them under your arms and areas like that. And basically, you go to the dermatologist, and they freeze it off. Now, it feels like you get hit with a cattle prod. That's kind of what that ice cold thing feels like. You're like, oh, that's neat, and then 5 seconds later, you're like, oh man, that is not fun.
Right.
It's like having frostbite instantly.
They now have like a Band-Aid product that you can get to take off skin tags.
No, really?
Yeah.
Now, I've heard the thing where you tie your hair around it. Have you heard that?
No.
That or dental floss.
You get a hair or dental floss, and you tie a loop, and then you put it around there, and you tie it real tight,
Yow.
and it cuts off the blood flow to it, right? Which I've considered. Except the skin tag that I'm dealing with right now is...
It's on your boys.
it's not on my boys.
It's in the sensitive region?
It's in a precarious area.
It's back door.
Is
it that place that is just east of Oviedo? What's it called? Taintsville?
Do you have a tag on your taint?
Let's just say it's BH adjacent.
Oh.
No, it's not. It's not the same real estate. It's far enough away where if it was waterfront, you wouldn't have to pay the insurance increase. Like it's far enough away. It's still it's close enough to where I can't imagine somebody going back there and handling it for me. That's the problem. That's the problem. I can't imagine the idea of going, hey, well, show me what you got. I'm like, no, buddy, that's going to require an NDA. I'm going to be honest with you. We're going to have to have a long conversation before we get into where this thing is, so that we can understand what the steps are. Like I feel like I'm gonna have to get into one of those Amish sex sheets and just cut the area out where it is.
Just the hole, and that's all you see.
You should see the skin tag and a couple little sparkly hairs.
Let everyone else let them guess where the body is.
Some scragglers.
If you showed it at work, would it involve a call to HR afterwards?
You kidding me?
Okay.
If I showed it at work, we all get fired. Can I tell you, they condemn the building.
Well, take a photo and we'll post it up on our website.
Deborah, can I tell you?
We'll put it up in the...
If I was a Twister champ, I could not take a photo of where this thing is.
I would offer, but no.
No. Get out of here. You shouldn't offer. And that's the thing is, like, I think my dermatologist is a female.
Oh,
yeah.
And one of them is a dude, and one of them is a female. I'd almost rather the woman deal with that because I don't want to subject a guy to that. That's
that's not fair.
Well, I mean, it's not. No. It's hard to explain.
Yeah,
the little hands,
it's very hard
the smaller
to explain.
hands.
Please get a firm grip on this shovel and continue.
but I think I'm being dead serious here. I'm a little sensitive to it, and really, to be honest with you, it's not so much where I'm going to have to. Look. Here's the thing. It's not a prison scenario where they're checking me for a cell phone or a rogue bag of meth. It's not like in that area, but it can see that from where it is. Let's just say if this was a neighborhood, there's only a fence separating the two.
Oh, wow.
So I've got to figure out how you kind of approach that when you go into a dermatologist, because I guess I can't even say that anymore. Dermatologists for the longest time were just, you felt it was like an acne thing, right?
Right, yeah.
Or, now it's like skin cancer in this state, you got to worry about that stuff. But when it comes to these things, I know it's a real fast procedure. When I had the other one taken off, it took just a few seconds. I don't think I was in the office a total of 15 or 20 minutes. That's it.
Dr. Scholl's has a freeze-away skin tag remover.
Oh, God. Who do I trust to get it close to that, though?
Your
What if
wife?
No, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to subject her to that either.
I don't know. So it's not out of embarrassment you're not
it's-
asking for outside help. It's
It
because
is a little
of your
embarrassment, Jack.
concern for them.
No, well, it's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Could you imagine,
Yes.
dude, having to do that?
Yes.
Hey, show me where it is. And you're like, buddy, prepare yourself accordingly.
Yeah, I was
When's the last horror movie you saw?
I was not thrilled about the vasectomy where I had, a male nurse like,
Yeah.
it's like,
Juggling.
hey, what are you doing? Come on, man. Come on,
Squeeze
man.
a little harder.
Come on, man.
And what's
Put
even
your back into
and
it.
what's even worse, even if I were to deal with this at home, I can't see it to do the thing to it with the dental floss or the hair. I can't see that, so I'm going to ask.
Toenail clippers.
I would have to. Oh, listen,
Why?
I hear they don't stop bleeding. That's the problem I hear with snipping them, because I've heard of people doing that, but
Tourniquet.
I hear it is a bleed monster, those things. And I hear it's not good to do that, because they're supposed to, if it's a certain color, they're supposed to biopsy them.
Oh,
Right?
geez.
So mine's a flapper. Mine's a flapper. Everyone has been out in a dusty field sometimes in the fall where you get that thing going in your nose, where like every time you breathe, it feels like a heart valve.
Right.
Flap, flap, flap. That's what this thing feels like.
You notice it when you go to the bathroom?
No. It doesn't bother me there. There's no. It's not like I'm saying.
Okay.
It's not in that area, but it is. Man, I'm telling you.
No, it is in the area, but I'm still confused as to north, south, east, west.
No,
Exactly.
It's north. It's not
It's
under.
north.
It's not underneath.
Okay.
It's on the buttock.
It's like your tail.
It's on the buttock, but it's in
How
the.
close is it to that hair tail that you have?
It's in the southeast region of my buttocks. South Central. But it does not wrap. So I got to figure that out.
Texter points out, if only we still had interns.
And nail clippers. All right, 407-916. Look, I'll take any advice. Here's the thing. I don't mind doing those in-home treatments, but the problem is, do you guys have a problem using a mirror?
No.
Like if you were to take a pair of tweezers and you had a hair, is it hard for you to figure out what's what in a mirror? For some reason,
right is left is right.
Yeah, for
It's
some
like
reason,
backing up a trailer.
I have a difficult time with that, and I feel like if I tried to do this in a mirror, that I'd wind up putting the medicine on the wrong side, just eating another hole in my butt. And I don't want to do that. I just want to get this thing gone because it is a pain in the butt.
Kristen in the YouTube chat wants to know, does it flutter when let's just call it a strong wind passes by?
It does not. It's not like putting a playing card in the spokes.
Someone said, texted us 77031. The Dr. Scholl's freeze thing works great and doesn't hurt.
Very nice. I think I'll do that. I got to get it out of there because it's a pain in the. It's a pain.
Where's it a pain?
It's a pain now, and it's weird. Now it's itching a little bit.
Oh, come on.
So now it's itching.
Ew.
And, okay, do I need ooh? I just got back. I don't need ooh.
Well, you get the ooh because when
I know, dude, it's
when
crazy.
you say it itches,
And
that
then you gotta
means
scratch it,
you,
right,
you
yeah.
scratch it,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
if you're scratching
Oh,
it,
I got it, Jack. Yeah,
you're
I
in
know.
the region.
Oh, it's pink eye crazy.
Great.
All right, 407-916-1041.
How'd you get conjunctivitis?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, if only Fryer was here. All right, 407-916-1041. Big thanks to Bob, though. He's the greatest. Short notice came through as always.
Yep.
I shot him a text. He loves doing it. He's one of the greatest cats you'll ever meet. If you ever get a chance to meet Bob Fryer, do. He is one of the most affable guys that ever was.
And do you know how we actually benefited? He actually took off. He had that Friday off. He took off to watch the Masters.
That's all he does.
He's scheduled to be off to watch the Masters. So instead, you call in sick to watch the Masters, and Bob Fryer has to work.
Buddy, listen, I wish it was the Masters. I got to see a total of 2 hours of the tournament all weekend. That was yesterday afternoon. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I was gone all weekend long. It was terrible. Just awful. Don't feel bad for me. I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm just going to tell you. All right, 407-916-1041. Deb, what's coming up for news?
Organized anti-Israel protests are hitting cities across the U.S. today. Closer to home, Brevard County Police issue a warning over a viral game, and Billy Joel's fans are fuming. We'll tell you why and more coming up next during Woke News.
You got it. All right, 407-916-1041. To call us, text us at 77031. Your 3 o'clock keyword is green, GREEN. Go to realradio.fm. Send that away for your chance at $1,000. Remember, if you're in the game, stay by your phone. That's how they tell you you've won. Back in a sec with Deb's News and more of the Jim Colbert Show.
Sure, you could call your family, but then they'll start calling you all the time. Instead, just say, Alexa, play Real Radio 104.1 on iHeartRadio.
Slowdowns continue on I-4 this afternoon, east and westbound on the interstate by the major attractions exits. Traffic up to speed, however, on I-4 through downtown. Looking at a serious crash on Silver Star that is blocking all westbound lanes between Orange Avenue and I-4. No delays at this time north or southbound on Florida's Turnpike. If you run into traffic problems, just make sure you're calling the traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Florida Prepaid College Savings Plans. Florida 529 prepaid college plans can be used in-state or out at public, private, trade, and technical schools nationwide. Enrolling is quick, and plans now start at just $34 a month. Florida Prepaid open enrollment ends April 30th.
I had a radio listener call me after an accident. The insurance company offered him $700. He hired me that day, and we recovered $100,000. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Potential clients may not obtain same or similar results. Mo DeWitt, Orlando's injury attorney.
It's 3 days of extraordinary store-wide savings at International Diamond Center. This Friday through Sunday. Get extra savings across the board. Up to 20% off. Rings, bands, earrings. Thousands of engagement ring mountings. This weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Only and only at International Diamond Center.
Don't let spring allergies make you miserable. Try the quick, drug-free solution trusted by over 4 million people. Navage. Only Navage uses suction to flush out your sinuses using refreshing saline, helping you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. And here's even better news. Navage is now available at your local Sam's Club in a great new value pack. It's everything you need to start breathing better immediately at Sam's guaranteed best price. Navage. Navage. Breathe easy.
Frank Gay has something cool for you. Keep your AC running smoothly with a tune-up for only $89 for a limited time. Friendly, speedy, and expert service. That's the Frank Gay way. Visit frankgayservices.com or call for details.
Moments like making my kids my famous meatballs mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that has spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for adults with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
By the time it's tax day on Monday, April 15th, you've either filed or filed for an extension. And regardless of that fact, McDonald's is giving you a tasty reason to celebrate. Only on tax day, go ahead and order your favorite McCrispy sandwich for just $3 in the McD app. It's a delicious way to say, hey, I deserve it. Any tender and juicy McCrispy sandwich. So file that McDonald's order only on tax day and only in the app. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Offer valid only on 4/15/24 at participating McDonald's. Valid once a day. Must opt into rewards. I love playing pranks on my sister, and this deal going on at McDonald's is my chance to take the lead. Enjoy any 2 items for $3.79. From the iconic McDouble, the McChicken, a 4-piece chicken McNuggets, small fries, to even a small soft drink. I'm gonna pair my McDouble with her small fries, but secretly pull her fries out of the bag. She won't even notice. Hey, where'd the fries go? Sounds like my prank just got fried. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Single item at regular price.
Fraudulent tax returns due to identity theft increased by 30% in 2023. If you're in a bind this tax season, LifeLock can help. Their U.S.-based restoration specialists are dedicated to helping solve identity theft issues, and all plans are backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which means if you lose money because of identity theft, LifeLock will reimburse you up to the limits of your plan. Help protect your information with LifeLock. Go to LifeLock.com and save up to 25% your first year with my name, Clay, as your promo code.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
If you're the victim of a car crash, never rush to settle with the insurance companies and never settle for just any attorney. Demand Anna Jar Levine. Call 1-800-747-FREE for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
In Office Orlando.
Doctors take Field of Greens for their own health. Here's Dr. Ryan Green to explain.
We're like you, too much fast food and not enough exercise. That's why I take Field of Greens. The fruits and vegetables in Field of Greens support my heart, lungs, kidneys, and metabolism for weight loss. And Field of Greens promises your doctor will notice your improved health or your money back.
Get 15% off with promo code RADIO at fieldofgreens.com. That's promo code RADIO at fieldofgreens.com. Product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Don't miss TK Law. Trendley Kramer Law calls every Wednesday at 8:35 on the Monsters in the Morning. Ray Trendley and the Monsters will be discussing all things law, from the latest celebrity legal troubles to what's going on out there.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you to explore right now, like One Hit Wonders Radio. The greatest one-hit wonders of all time. Ones you definitely remember. And ones that'll make you say, oh yeah. Just open the free iHeartRadio app, search One Hit Wonders, and listen now, commercial-free. Free never sounded so good.
Radio now comes with moving pictures. The Jim Colbert Show on YouTube. Subscribe and watch.
Jim, I just had a skin tag removed myself from another not so fun area. Let me tell you, super awkward walking into the doctor and just dropping your pants and be like, there it is. Have a great day.
Uncle Tony here.
Oh, God.
Hey, Jimmy. Butt tag. You're it.
Hey, Jimmy. I haven't talked to you since your birthday, but I'll take care of that skin tag for you.
Not a single one of those was creepy at all.
No. In order of predominance.
Yeah, and that's only half of the ones that came in just in the first segment alone.
Well, I appreciate the heads up on those in-house therapies. I think I'll try one of those tonight. We'll see how it goes. Somebody said, why did you wait so long to take it off? To be honest with you, I just didn't pay attention to it. And then, of course, you're taking a shower and, I'm washing and everything. And my loofah gets stuck on it.
Oh,
jeez. I'm joking.
I'm with the listener who said put some googly eyes on it and name it.
Yeah. That's how you know you have a problem. It snags your loofah.
And another problem is it's tax day. I had to claim it as a dependent.
Yeah.
Save me a little money there. That's why I kept it. All right, 407-916-1041. Welcome back. I am Jim. Jack is right over there. Let's get some news. Here's Deb.
And now, it's time for Woke News. It seems like kind of a misuse of the whole woke on the Jim Colbert Show.
And Woke News, as always, is brought to you by that mortgage guy, Don. All right, organized anti-Israel protests are hitting cities across the U.S. today. The southbound lanes of the Golden Gate Bridge has been closed for hours now, creating a traffic nightmare. The protesters are now on Wall Street in Manhattan, the port of Long Beach, California, and elsewhere. Earlier, they chained themselves to a Boeing plant in St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay.
They also blocked an entrance to a jet engine plant in Middletown, Connecticut, and shut down the main highway outside Chicago O'Hare Airport.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Question. What are we protesting?
They're anti-Israel, pro-Palestinian.
Yeah, a lot of pro-Palestinian stuff happening today.
Yep. All right, prosecutors in Donald Trump's hush money case will not be allowed to play audio or video from the former president's infamous Access Hollywood tape. Today, Judge Juan Merchan reaffirmed his prior ruling that the tape should not be played for the jury, but prosecutors can read Trump's words aloud. Trump in the video that surfaced just ahead of the 2016 election can be heard making lewd remarks about women. The judge also ruled Trump's deposition from the E. Jean Carroll defamation case also should not be shared with the jury. Meanwhile, the judge is warning Trump that he will be arrested if he fails to show up in court.
Wow, really?
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
Yeah, Judge Merchant told Trump that without a reason for an absence during his trial, a warrant will be issued for his arrest.
Wow.
Merchant added he has a right to be present for his trial, but he will be removed from the courtroom if he disrupts the proceedings and put in jail.
Wow. Wow.
I
It's almost
know.
like that judge is treating him like he's been out on the social media banging him for 2 straight weeks.
Yeah, and his family. Apparently.
Or like a regular person would be treated in that situation.
Yeah, exactly. And they've already chosen a couple of jurors, and jury selection, of course, just got started today. The FBI is reportedly opening a criminal investigation into last month's Baltimore bridge collapse.
Oh, really?
Agents have boarded the cargo ship that crashed into a support pillar of the Francis Scott Key Bridge, sending the span to the bottom of Baltimore Harbor. The Washington Post reports part of the investigation is going to be focused on whether the crew left port knowing the ship had problems.
Oh, wow.
6 people who were on the bridge at the time it was struck were killed.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering is how that was going to go. Like, what are you investigating? Obviously,
Right.
the ship had some issues, but yeah, if they were sailing that ship with known issues like that, obviously there would be some, there's going to be some trouble.
And apparently there has been some trouble with this particular cargo ship in the past because we had talked about it was an incident in Europe. There was a case. All right, let's see. Today is tax day. The IRS says most taxpayers should be seeing their refund about 3 weeks after filing.
Okay.
If you didn't opt for direct deposit and instead filed on paper or are waiting for a check, it could take a little bit longer. The IRS Where's My Refund tool allows taxpayers to check the status of their refund. It becomes available a day after filing a digital current year return, 3 to 4 days after filing a digital prior year return, and 4 weeks after filing paper.
I waited to the very last minute to take care of mine.
You and me
Did
both.
you? Very last minute. I mean, when I say last minute, we sent it off this afternoon.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go.
Electronically, right?
Yeah.
Oh, your wife helped.
Yep.
Okay.
God, I wish that wasn't true.
Oh, there
I
you
wish I could go, you know what, Jack?
Yeah.
You're right. That's exactly what I have to say, unfortunately, because it's true.
I was watching my daughter's boyfriend is filing his. He started yesterday.
Yeah.
It's a couple W-2s. It should be pretty easy. But the challenge is to do it through the IRS website because they have a tool where you can do it for free. But you actually have to have an account, and they have to verify it's you. So the verification process, it can come down to a video call where you show them your Social Security card to make sure that people are not just copying a Social Security number and pretending to be someone they're not. That's a big thing with tax returns. My CPA will always say, we filed your return, and they accepted it.
Right.
That latter part being important, meaning no one else has tried to claim your return.
Right.
But I was watching the struggles he was going through. I said, well, Jim couldn't do this.
Yeah, no way.
Not a chance.
No way. If it was up to me, that means I would have made an extra 5 payments on my truck. That's exactly what would have happened.
A Central Florida deputy is finding himself on the other side of the law. Orange County Police gave an update earlier today on the arrest of Deputy Francisco Estrella over the weekend. He's facing a series of charges in Seminole County, including accessing electronic devices without authorization and using confidential criminal justice information.
Wow.
Sheriff John Mina did not explain what led to his arrest yesterday, but says he will not tolerate anyone breaking the law within his agency's ranks. Estrella has been placed on leave without pay while an internal investigation is underway. 9 people, count them, 9 people competing for the seat of a suspended Orlando City Commissioner. Governor Ron DeSantis removed Regina Hill from office after she was charged with elderly exploitation and fraud last month. Hill has been ordered to stay away from the 96-year-old victim she's accused of stealing thousands of dollars from. Her arraignment is scheduled for tomorrow. Meanwhile, the 9 candidates are preparing for a special election for her position on May 21st.
Now, if she stays away from this woman, how is she going to pay for her next Botox treatment? And she needs them. She needs them.
Yeah.
You want to look your best in jail.
Right.
So.
Authorities in Brevard County are issuing a warning about a viral game impacting communities.
Okay.
Satellite Beach police say they've received multiple reports about high school seniors dressing up in hoodies or masks and going around their neighborhoods.
Just walking around?
The students are trying to sneak up on their classmates as part of the game Senior Assassin.
Okay, that's a great game. Good idea.
Officers are urging parents to talk with their kids about the risks of playing these kinds of games. Someone may not know that you're just playing a game when you rush up on them in a hoodie and a mask.
Right, because everybody else is playing the game. Shoot people who approach you in the dark with hoodies on.
Right, and discourage them from using realistic fake guns.
God almighty.
Those involved could face disorderly conduct charges.
That would be the best thing that could happen.
Yeah.
The best thing that could happen is you get picked up and put in jail for being an idiot, not get shot by somebody simply thinking they're protecting their home.
Exactly.
God
if they
almighty.
see you creeping around the neighborhood, they're worried about they think they're going to get robbed or something. I mean,
that's the dumbest thing I've heard in my life. Go back to planking.
Right.
That was so much easier. Just go plank on a building or something.
All right, a man behind bars in Marion County for kidnapping is now facing more charges. James Savage was arrested last month after a 20-hour standoff at a home in Wildwood. That's in Sumter County. He fled to that home after allegedly kidnapping his 60-year-old girlfriend from her home in Marion County. So recently, another woman came forward to accuse Savage of assaulting her outside of Publix in the Villages 2 weeks before that standoff. Okay. She claims he poked her in the chest, and when she poked him back, he elbowed her in the head.
Damn.
Savage
It's a wrestling match.
I know, and his last name is so appropriate.
Right,
Savage
right.
is now charged with battery on a person 65 or older from that alleged incident. He's due in court tomorrow on the kidnapping charges.
Your Honor, he gave her the bionic elbow. If you'll remember from 70s. Okay, we'll move forward.
All right, a 59-year-old man is facing charges in Volusia County following a pepper spraying incident in DeLand.
Well, these are always fun.
Daniel Young is accused of spraying pepper spray on the walls of a second-floor hallway at a Holiday Inn Express and Suites on Friday night. The hotel had to be evacuated.
Have you ever been in the vicinity of it since when it was sprayed? Can I tell you something? Everybody thinks you have to take a direct hit from that stuff to be affected. I was walking downtown once when somebody sprayed it like a block away.
No way.
And the waft of that came over our group, and you knew it immediately. And it was a block away. Like, I couldn't imagine. If you sprayed like one little burst in this room, you would not be able to stay in here for hours. It is awful, awful stuff.
Well, the hotel had to be evacuated because this guy sprays the second hallway.
It's awful.
After guests reported experiencing respiratory problems.
Your whole face stops working.
Yeah.
And you just start mucus just starts coming from everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Young is charged with criminal mischief and possession of a weapon by a convicted felon.
That's when you know somebody is really. I've seen dudes take direct eyeball hits with that stuff and keep coming at them.
Oh,
because of drug induced or whatever.
Oh, right.
Just like direct eyeball squirts of that stuff.
Well, and if you're lucky in the military, they'll make you do it twice.
Oh yeah.
My brother, when he was in the Marine Corps, it happened to be his birthday, the day that they had to do the tear gas thing.
Oh, yeah.
So as a birthday
and that's
present,
how they reward you?
That's how they rewarded him. They made him go back in and do it again.
We put a bow on him.
All right, let's see. Gas prices are up in Florida. AAA reports a statewide average of $3.51. That's about 5 cents more than a week ago, 3 cents higher than last month at this time. Florida's average a year ago was $3.57. Analysts say the violence in the Middle East could cause prices to go higher. Of course, you have all kinds of diplomatic phone calls. G7, President Biden on the phone with Netanyahu trying to get everybody to simmer down.
BB.
Yeah, exactly. Simmer
Calm down,
down.
BB.
All right. Speaking of traffic, have you guys ever come from the Florida Keys?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, just one
I've
time.
done that drive.
Just one time. Yeah, it's a nightmare, by the way. It's like 10 hours getting down there or something, isn't it? Like 10 hours?
It can seem that
It's
way.
forever.
Well, here it's a road construction project in the Keys has some drivers upset, and that's putting it mildly. FDOT yesterday closed the flyover bridge on the Rickenbacker Causeway connecting to Dixie Highway and I-95. That made it slow going for those trying to get from Key Biscayne and Virginia Key to mainland Miami-Dade County. Drivers tell Local 10 News out of Miami they experienced delays of up to 6 hours.
Wow.
6 hours just sitting in traffic.
Wow.
Someone yesterday even started a change.org petition to postpone the project, saying just postpone it for another month.
Right.
And it has already gotten about 1,700 signatures. Key Biscayne Mayor Joe Rasco writes on Facebook that this is not acceptable. He adds he has a call scheduled for this morning with FDOT officials. Because it's already 8 hours to get down there. Then you add in another 6 hours.
Yeah.
To make it worse, I-95 North was closed.
Have you ever been in a traffic like that bad? I was coming back from Georgia one time on I-4 through Daytona the same weekend as the 500.
Oh.
And there was a really bad multi-car accident going west, going toward Orlando, right around the Deltona area. Traffic was backed up so far and for so long, they were playing pickup football games in the median.
Wow.
That's true. They were literally, they had people drug their lawn chairs out. They were out there playing pickup football game and like throwing Frisbee in the median. It was dead stop, no possibility of moving for hours.
That sucks.
Yeah, it does.
All right, Billy Joel's fans are fuming after his TV concert special got cut off last night.
You look good last night, Jimmy.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Joel's pre-taped concert celebrating his 100th residency show at Madison Square Garden got cut off by the CBS network in the middle of his song Piano Man.
Mm-hmm.
Joel's concert was delayed 30 minutes due to the Masters tournament and then got cut due to local news programming.
Wow.
If you didn't get to watch the entire concert, it is streaming on Paramount+.
So it actually came back. So it was 30 minutes late because of the Masters, because they had 60 minutes and they had one of their shows, and then so instead of 9, it started at 9:30. And as you were approaching, I think it was 11:22 when he started playing Piano Man. You knew it was going to be the final song. And it's building up. It's 3/4 of the way through. And then suddenly it's a cut to a GMC truck. And I'm like, what the hell? And I wasn't sure if it was just our local CBS affiliate cutting to, or
an Iran strike?
Yeah.
I didn't know anything.
Apparently it was a national issue.
Yeah.
But then that played for about 15 seconds, and then it came back, and you got the end of the song, Then the song ended, the concert's over, credits go up, and then it's just black for about another 15 seconds. And then the second half of the GMC commercial.
That's funny.
Oh, man.
The most surprising thing about this is how big of a story this was this morning. Every single news site that I visited had this above the fold. Every single one of them was in other words, when I say above the fold, like when you get that first page, before you start scrolling, you could see that story was everywhere this morning. I was like, really? That song has been played in perpetuity for like 35 years now. Had you not heard Piano Man enough?
But his first concert special, I know. I did not plan on watching it. I saw the promos. And then, I watched 60 Minutes or so, and then I watched Fallout, which I'm loving on Amazon Prime. I highly recommend. And then I went back and I watched the whole thing and absolutely loved it. Yeah, it was good. The sound was great, and it was fun.
It's so funny. He plays there so often. He's like the house guy for the Square Garden.
Yeah.
He's like, that's his 100th show there?
100th show, and that happened the last week of March.
Yeah.
Because I went back to see when they recorded that, and it was just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Well, this is also a lot of Hollywood. Rust armorer Hannah Gutierrez has been sentenced to 18 months in prison for the death of cinematographer Helena Hutchins. A New Mexico jury found Gutierrez guilty for negligence in loading the live ammo into Alec Baldwin's gun on the set, which killed Hutchins. The judge said Gutierrez didn't accept responsibility for her actions and hasn't shown remorse. Baldwin has also been charged with involuntary manslaughter in Hutchinson's death, and he's scheduled to head to trial in July.
Oh, I bet he doesn't like the outcome of that, does he?
No.
He probably hates the outcome of her going to jail for 18 months. The crazy thing is the sentence is bad, no question, but the problem is for her, that has ruined her career in a business that she kind of spent her entire life kind of cultivating for herself. No one's ever going to hire her again, ever in that business.
Nope, not to be the armorer. Absolutely
she
not.
was a Nepo baby, right? It was her dad who also did it, and that was her into a what would seem like a very cool career.
And, too, it also puts producers and directors on
Sure.
notice because...
Could you imagine the insurance for that set if she's on the set?
Exactly. You have to have... I mean, you're trying to save money, right?
Right.
But that's not where you start.
No.
Is with your armorer. And then finally, speaking of stars, starting today, stargazers in the Northern Hemisphere can try to catch a glimpse of one of the oldest known meteor showers. The Lyrids meteor shower, which has been viewed by humans annually for nearly how many years?
Oh goodness. I'll go 2,500 years.
Ooh. I'm going to go 24,999.
27.
Oh, give it to me, Jack. I'm back with a dong.
Bravo. That was...
No.
It's not exact, buddy.
2,700 years.
Do I need to explain how this works to the
Hold
two
on for
of
a
you?
second.
Do you need the rules written down?
Would you agree, as a blind guess, with no meter whatsoever of where that would be, that was a very good guess? 25 to 27 with no idea. What would your initial guess have been?
1,000.
You're a
No,
And
right.
I would have killed you.
I was way off.
Don't.
I would have been way off. I think that was better than a very good guess. I think it was an excellent guess.
Oh.
And that's why I didn't even hesitate, and I gave you the bell immediately. Guess what? I'll give you a second bell. Dong? No way. Get it on the... what? Everyone gets a trophy?
Don't tell
Come
me
on.
to get. Don't you tell me.
Everyone gets a trophy?
You son of a bitch! How dare you?
All right, the Lyrids start today and last until April 29th. Now, in ideal conditions, viewers can spot around 10 to 15 meteors per hour during the shower's peak, which is on April 22nd, Earth Day.
Yep.
According to Earth Sky.
I have to tell you, man, we a couple years ago, right after we moved out there to the middle of nowhere, we had one of these things come through. And usually when they say, oh, you're going to view it, you'll see one or two. It just so happens we caught a great night, and it was quite a show. And I will tell you, as far as like natural wonders go,
yes,
that is one of the best. If you can get a really good area with no light wash, with a good clear night, and sit there, you will see a bunch of them, and it is spectacular.
It really is, because they're all different colors.
It's breathtaking. They last. Some of them last long. Some of them are big, and then you find yourself like wanting to catch the next one because you're concentrating on a little area.
Right.
Then one will shoot off in your peripheral vision, and you're like, "Did you see that one?" Oh, it's so great.
I don't think I've ever seen one.
Oh man,
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you should check it out, Jack. It's just like Jimmy's described. It's very special.
It's almost like a movie, dude. It's almost like they're playing them on a screen.
Yeah.
It seems unreal, really.
Yeah.
When you see a really good defined meteor shower like we got a couple years back.
And the good thing is it starts today,
That's
lasts
awesome.
until the 29th, and the peak is not until April 22nd.
And we're supposed to have some really clear weather this
Yeah,
week, too, so it should be
exactly.
good to see it.
A good night. And now you all are officially woke.
Deb, text me when I'm supposed to go outside. Okay?
I'll email you. I'll email you.
Go outside and look up.
All right,
Yeah,
for-
no.
All right, 407.
I'll get it in December.
916-1041. You can text us at 77031. I'm renting right now, and I have an opinion about it. I'll tell you what that is next.
Oh, boy.
Real radio is Real Music Weekends.
Rocks. You don't have to put on the red light.
Real Music Weekends. This weekend on Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
Good afternoon. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Garner, and I've got your forecast here for Central Florida this afternoon. The high temperature, 86 degrees. A beautiful day with just a couple of high clouds around. You know what? This week is going to be characterized by warming temperatures. In fact, by the middle and end of the week, we're in the middle 90s. It's going to be the first real taste of that late Florida spring weather, except we won't have to worry about the humidity. It'll be really dry, so at least it'll be somewhat tolerable. For the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Brooks Garner.
This report is sponsored by Fresh from Florida.
Hey guys, Chef Justin with Fresh from Florida here, reminding you that from blueberry pancakes to blueberry smoothies, almost everything is better with Florida blueberries. In season now, look for Fresh from Florida blueberries at your local grocery store.
You do everything you can for your family. A nice home, good food, family fun, and the right medical care. You plan ahead for your kids' future and their education. That's all great, unless something unexpected happens to you. If you were to die, who would pay the mortgage and all the other bills? Would your family have to sell their home just to survive? That's why you need to call Term Provider for the lowest rates available on quality term life policies, period. Rates for term life are at all-time lows, and Term Provider could save you 50, 60, even 70%. Already have coverage? Call and see if you're paying too much. Term Provider could save you thousands. And if your health isn't perfect, even more reason to call. We'll match you with the right policy even if you have weight issues like diabetes or high blood pressure. Right now, your family's protected. Make sure that protection continues if something unexpected happens to you. Call for a free quote and see if you can save up to 70%. Call 800-777-1979 now. 800-777-1979. 800-777-1979.
Seminole Hard Rock Tampa is excited to bring you live craps, roulette, and sports betting. All under one roof, hotter than the Florida sun. Feel the luck of the dice, watch the roulette wheel spin, and scream for your touchdown as the big screen comes alive. Dine like a rock star, sip cocktails that shimmer, then dive into the heart of Las Vegas right here in Tampa Bay. Live craps, roulette, sports betting is here. Get in on the action now. Only at Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Tampa, located off of I-4 near I-75. Gambling problem? Call 1-888-10-MINUTE.
I'm tired of everything being so expensive in 2024. Ooh, so I turned my truck into a time machine to travel back in time. I'm just gonna press this button and... Holy cow, I think it worked. Let's see what happens if I buy something at this drive-thru.
Welcome to McDonald's. Would you like to choose any two for $3.79?
It did work. Yes, my good lady. And what does $3.79 buy me in this bygone day and time?
Well, you can get a McChicken, a McDouble, a 4-piece chicken McNuggets, a small fries, or a small soft drink. Choose any two.
What a delight. I'll have the McDouble and a small fries. Just $3.79, you say?
Yes, sir.
Just one more question. Do you know what year it is?
It's 2024, sir?
Uh-huh. I see. The button I pressed changed the radio station. Very good. Very good. I'll take the McDouble and the small fries for $3.79 post haste.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Single item at regular price.
Another happy Safelite customer.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
There I was driving down the highway when out of nowhere, a rock hits my windshield. So annoying. But then I remembered Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace. I booked my appointment at Safelite.com. And with my insurance, my new windshield was no cost to me. Safelite even handled my insurance claim, which was the best.
Cracked windshield? Just go to Safelite.com and let Safelite take care of everything.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
At Mayo Clinic in Florida, we are predicting the unpredictable. Our experts are using a patient's own anatomy to create 3D printed, life-size organ models to map out challenges ahead of time, making complex surgeries more precise, efficient, and less invasive. We are making more possible at Mayo Clinic because every day we're doing what's never been done. Learn more at mayoclinic.org/possible. Mayo Clinic, you know where to go.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations like One Hit Wonders.
This is the story of a girl. I'm not sick, but I'm not well.
Just search One Hit Wonders and listen now on your free iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
Fraudulent tax returns due to identity theft increased by 30% in 2023. If you're in a bind this tax season, LifeLock can help. Their U.S.-based restoration specialists are dedicated to helping solve identity theft issues, and all plans are backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which means if you lose money because of identity theft, LifeLock will reimburse you up to the limits of your plan. Help protect your information with LifeLock. Go to LifeLock.com and save up to 25% your first year with my name, Clay, as your promo code.
Sunnyside Plumbing.
Yes, I've got a leaking...
To leave us a testimonial saying how happy you are with our service, press 1.
But you haven't even...
For all other inquiries, please hang up.
Wait, what?
Hang up and call Frank Gay. We're busy watching the game.
You know what? I think I will.
When you have a leak, you need solutions on your schedule. A helpful expert who can find the problem and fix it fast.
That's the Frank Gay way.
frankgayservices.com.
With 3 generations and over 45 years of Florida experience, Handyman Roofing knows storms and hurricanes. We know how to evaluate storm-damaged roofs and not cause more damage. Handyman Roofing has the expertise to get your roof done. Plus, easy financing in case your insurance company is dragging its feet. With multiple emergency response teams ready, Handyman Roofing will be by your side now when you need it the most.
Knows how to get things done. Count on Handyman Roofing to get it done. Handyman Roofing to get it done.
Real Radio is on X at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
The Jim Colbert Show, streaming live on YouTube. Watch us talk.
I think it's all about the seams, Jimmy. Pants, underwear. I believe Under Armour do not have seams, so that may alleviate your pain. But it just goes along with the territory.
Man, I've been racking my brains for weeks trying to come up with a new title for my album. Thanks, guys. Skin tags and flatulence. Track 1 will be...
Okay, buddy, thank you. I am absolutely sorry I ever brought it up. I thought I would look at this like a medical procedure that the audience that's obviously trained in this can help me with. But you guys chose the joke.
Yep, they said you flutter when you fart.
All right, 407-916.
I'd like to promote the talkback feature, but please keep them coming.
Yeah.
iHeartRadio app, it's free.
407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Your 3 o'clock keyword is green, Green. Got about 10 minutes or so, 5 actually, to get over there and get that money. Go to realradio.fm, send that away. You'll see how. It'll show you exactly. And then when you do that, please stay near your phone. Keep it near you. That is how they tell you you've won. They call you. So if you don't pick up your phone, you can't win the money because they don't call you back. They don't leave a message.
Nope.
Yeah. No, they don't.
They don't. And you only have to wait an hour.
Yeah. Just, you know what? Just if you are a person like me who constantly, my phone is always on vibrate, if you are expecting a call, that's when I'll put the ringer on because it'll be right next to me and vibrating, and I will miss it.
Yeah.
I will miss it. So just put your ringer on and make sure you answer the phone. And if it's, if someone trying to sell you an extended warranty, you say not interested, you hang up, and then you just wait for that $1,000 call.
Welcome back. I'm Jim. Deb is here.
Hello.
And Jack.
I am.
You guys were renters at one point in your life?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. But this is the first home you've owned?
No. This would be the second.
Second home. Jack, you are a homeowner. This is your second home?
Correct.
All right. I am also a homeowner, or I was. Now I am homeless. Well, not homeless. I have a place to live, but I'm renting an Airbnb right now. Now, I have to tell you, this past weekend, I had some time to ruminate on what situations. And I will tell you, when you're a homeowner, you pay attention to everything.
You have to.
You have to, right? That's your part of your investment. It's your place. You are responsible. Let me tell you guys. I think I've been going about this the wrong way.
Tell me about renter life.
I am now a renter. And you renters out there, see if you're with me here. Sitting there on the couch yesterday afternoon watching the Masters. It was dead quiet. Nobody was in the house. I have the sound basically off because I don't like that stuff. And I hear in the background, something in this place. It's only a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, right? But something is definitely leaking. I think it's the toilet has a leak from the valve where it's leaking back into the toilet, not like on the floors or anything causing any damage.
No, but like it needs a new flapper,
but
maybe?
Yeah, something like that.
Like $1.79 could fix it?
Something like that. And I'm sitting there and I'm going, oh, my God, listen to that. I don't care. It's not my house or my problem. I've never been happier. I've never been happier to know that my wife is not going to go, hey, you hear that? You hear that? Hear that? You hear that? Man, we have one of the cabinet drawers won't open. It's kind of swollen shut. No problem, buddy. I got no problem with it because it's not mine. This is the way to live. What am I doing buying houses? The way to live is let somebody else have these problems. I cannot wait for something to break so I can just call somebody and go, hey, buddy, your dishwasher isn't working. You need to come over here.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy, your oven doesn't work. By the way, this oven doesn't have a handle. Like, not even a handle. I mean, look, when you rent these things, you're just renting whatever. I don't care. I got nothing to... Listen, I don't care what happens to it. I could not be happier. I've never in my life had to sit in a place, because I've owned every place I've lived except twice. I rented my first 2 apartments, or I rented an apartment after my divorce for 2 years before I could buy another place. And before, when I moved out for the first time, I had an apartment for about a year. Other than that, I've been a homeowner, right?
Right.
Dumb. Dumb. Rent cheap and just who cares what happens, man?
Rent cheap?
The idea. Well, yeah, that's tough.
I mean, yeah.
But the idea of not having any responsibility for stuff that happens around the house, that is glorious. I've been missing out. I'm going about this the entire wrong way. I see these people living in rental houses. They are the happiest people ever. They don't have to worry about anything breaking, slab leaks. Who cares? Not my slab, player. Garage door doesn't work. Who cares?
Will you at least?
Oh, God, no. Don't even say it.
Come on.
Not a nickel.
Not a nickel. Not a nickel.
How much do you think this thing was for a month? I don't even want to tell you.
It's too much.
Oh, my God, dude.
But
I'm in the wrong business.
As a fellow homeowner, again, that's your intention, and we all know you will be.
Yeah,
okay. And someone who cares.
Oh, God, dude.
I don't know if you care.
Yeah, I do.
But someone who's has a little bit of goodness in them, at least will you leave them a list of things that you would recommend that they attend to?
That sounds great. That's the work I'll do.
Leave them a list.
The work I'll do is
list.
write them a list that they're never going to be able to read because my handwriting is awful. My handwriting is if Michael J. Fox. If you gave Michael J. Fox
too soon
50 Red Bulls and then handed him a pen, that's what my writing looks like. No possibility.
That might sound mean, but that really
spot on.
Pretty,
the Zodiac cipher would be easier.
Have Tori write it.
Yeah.
You tell Tori
Jack,
what's it.
I can't tell you the love that I have for not having to worry about anything that breaks, anything that goes bad. I love it. The peace, knowing that I'm not going to be called on to fix anything or get a ladder or a hammer or a caulk gun or sandpaper or saw or drill or screwdriver or wrench. Oh, my God, dude, it is freedom.
No.
It's like being out of jail.
On the other side, a renter, my oldest daughter has a broken microwave and a washer that broke a few weeks ago. Oh, yeah. Still has not been repaired.
Well, then she has a bad landlord.
Well, then we also have a Savannah, as you hear on the Monsters in the Morning, dealing with a mold issue with her landlord and trying to get that resolved while living there.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, there's two sides of that coin, Hotshot.
No, here's the thing. I've been a landlord. We were very, very active landlords. You call me, hey, my water's not heating. I'm there that afternoon. I don't want you to be mad. I don't want you to be mad. Plus, the county would get on me. They're all such giants. The county would get on me. But, man, I have to tell you, the freedom of sitting here and just hearing that water drip, I was just like, oh, God, that's so good.
You know what? Enjoy it.
It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough for me to get up and really, look, I'm not an environmentalist by any means, but I hate waste of all types.
Right.
I hate it. I hate waste so much. But it would be dripping it'd be once every 4 or 5 minutes I'd hear that bloop, and I'm like, oh, God. Oh, God, the freedom of that drip is so good.
And then in 5 weeks.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be pouring down the drain. Everything's paid, though. I don't care. Oh, God. I'm joking, but it was a very unique thing to sit there and hear something that I would usually immediately get up and go investigate to fix. And I just like, hey.
It's like when you switch from paying by the minute to unlimited calls and texts.
Oh, yeah. You can't wait.
I got all day. We can continue to chat here.
Oh, yeah. That's immediately start catching up with high school friends.
Yeah, you paid that bill already. The bill is paid. You've covered that.
All right, 407 916 1041. Text us at 77031. O.J. Simpson dies last week, and the fun begins. I'll tell you why next.
It's like a text message with your voice. The TalkBack feature on the free iHeartRadio app. Follow Real Radio 104.1, tap the microphone, and speak.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Delays continue on I-4 this afternoon, both east and westbound between the Beach Line and 535 and between World Drive and Osceola Polk Line Road. No delays at this time north or southbound for drivers taking Florida's Turnpike. Traffic looks great both east and westbound for those traveling on the 408. If you run into problems on the roads today, make sure to call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan Injury Law Firm.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. We recently received a call from an injured person. The insurance company had offered them $11,000. We took the case over and got more than $2 million in court. Morgan & Morgan.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hey everybody, Jim Colbert here. If you ask anyone who has experienced LASIK surgery, they're going to tell you this. It is the best thing they ever did, best decision they ever made, more than often than not. They're also going to tell you that they should have done it way sooner than they did. Look, man, don't let me talk you into it. You should have already done this a long time ago. If you experience eye issues, if you have bad eyesight, you wear glasses or contacts, guys, there is no reason not to take advantage of this right here. That's the Filatowski Eye Institute's offer of a free LASIK consultation. Why not find out what can happen for you? If you struggle with that, like my father-in-law did, he waited way too long. He got it at 58 years old. He should have got it when he was 50 or even earlier. Get with these guys and find out what they can do for you. It's easy. Just text 1041 to 868686. Start your journey to better vision with the Filatowski Eye Institute. These guys have all the experience you want. 65,000 LASIK procedures under their belt. They use the latest state-of-the-art tech, getting you the best possible situation. Not to mention, they offer 24-month interest-free financing. Just text 1041 to 868686 and schedule your free LASIK consultation at the Filatowski Eye Institute. Your path to better vision begins right now.
Are you ready to put some cash in your pocket? Because Real Radio is giving you a chance to win $1,000 by putting $1,000 in your hand. You know the deal with our national contest. We'll give you a keyword at the top of every hour from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And all you have to do is enter it on our website at realradio.fm for your chance to win. With 13 chances every weekday, you'll have plenty of opportunities to win $1,000 in your hand. But there is a catch, because there's always a catch. Right. If you get a call, you need to answer your phone. That's right. The key to winning is picking up your phone when we call. So don't send us to voicemail. This contest brought to you locally by Mills Air.
Mills Air, been in business since 1992. That's over 30 years. Carrier factory authorized dealer. Rebates up to $1,275 for brand new Carrier units. Turn to the experts. Carrier. And you can always turn to the experts at millsair.com.
Sneezing, coughing, stuffy nose, runny nose, postnasal drip, interrupted sleeping. I was groggy at the end of the day.
Allergies and sinus congestion were making Jana miserable. Then, a friend recommended Navage. Navage provides immediate drug-free congestion relief, flushing your nasal passages with refreshing saline and sucking out mucus, germs, and other airborne irritants. Navage helps you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel your best right away.
Navage gave me instant relief. I didn't have to wait 30 minutes. I didn't have to wait an hour, 90 minutes. I didn't have to wait a minute. I ran the rinse and I felt better.
Stop suffering from congestion and start breathing and feeling your best again with Navage. Navage.
I've had people ask me how I find relief, and I tell them Navage immediately. This thing is amazing.
Navage is available at Navage.com or at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid.
The countdown to the Paris Olympics is on. Hi, everybody. It's Savannah Guthrie.
I'm Hoda Kotb from the Today Show. We are so excited to kick off our celebration.
Yeah, this week, before the world gathers in the City of Light, today is bringing its magic of Paris to the plaza.
And Wednesday, it's just 100 days to go. Team USA hopefuls and champions will be taking over all morning for a huge party.
It's going to be epic, so join us this week on NBC.
Because today is where the games begin.
The number one cause of accidents is distracted driving, like cell phones, eating, and playing with the radio. So leave it right here on Real Radio. Injured on the go? Just call Mo.com. Mo DeWitt, Orlando's injury attorney.
It's 3 days of extraordinary store-wide savings at International Diamond Center. This Friday through Sunday, you get extra savings across the board, up to 20% off. Rings, bands, bracelets, earrings, even thousands of engagement ring mountings. This is the spring event everyone waits for. With all new fashion jewelry and a new selection of exquisite diamonds. Best prices all year and up to 3 years zero-interest financing. Don't miss this once-a-year spring store-wide sale. This weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday only. And only at International Diamond Center. All 4 Orlando locations.
Moments like my daughter telling me a new joke mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that is spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for adults with HR-positive, HER2-negative NBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
For all your windows and doors, go to FASWD.com. That's FASWD.com.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because clients and character matter. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, HAPPY, H-A-P-P-Y, HAPPY. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
There's only one place to watch this nonsense. At Jim Colbert Show on YouTube.
Jim, I'm 64 years old and have dealt with some skin tags, although none as embarrassingly located as yours. But I will tell you the Dr. Scholl's freeze-off works great, and if Tori has a magnifying mirror, that really will help. So good luck.
Yeah. Don't know that you're going to need a magnifying mirror.
Well, you want to make sure you put that stuff on the right spot.
And
This
you
thing
don't
is
want to
like
get
a
you don't
Vienna
want to get
sausage.
you don't want to get too close to it. You want to kind of do it from a distance, so
yeah,
the
yeah.
magnifying mirror would help.
This is what you got to do. You just got to kick one leg up on the counter.
All right.
Grab yourself a mirror
All
in
right.
one hand, your Dr. Scholl's in the other, and just go to town.
Sounds like my OnlyFans account.
I figured out what I was going to do.
All right, 407-916-1041. Your 4 o'clock keyword is happy, H-A-P-P-Y. Go to realradio.fm and send that off for your chance at $1,000. Happy, guys, is your 4 o'clock keyword. Good luck. We hope you win that $1,000. That'd be nice to start off the spring with as we settle into this hot-ass weather headed our way. I am Jim. Deb and Jack are here as well.
90s by the end of the week.
Yeah, this weekend, all 90 degrees all weekend.
Last blast, baby.
Can't wait. Cannot wait. I got last blast this year. I think I nailed it finally.
So far, you are still live.
We're good, dog.
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
good.
yeah.
We're not going to see any. We're not going to see any temperatures below 70. No highs below 70 for the remainder of the year, without question.
Sorry, Deb.
Yeah, it's going to get hotter faster this year, dude. By May, it's going to be like July.
Did you
Just
see what the
nature of
high
it.
Saturday is supposed to be?
Like 93 or something,
94
right? Yeah,
degrees.
yeah, yeah.
94 degrees.
April. In April. Right, exactly. July is going to be I think they call it a hoot. Is what they call it. I think it's going to be a hoot. All right, so this OJ thing is interesting. By the way, did you guys see Caitlyn Clark on SNL?
No.
Yeah, this chick is going to be a star. You know, I mean, she looked like any athlete on a trying to be funny on a comedy show. Like all the athletes that have been there, with the exception of Peyton Manning, is just one of those guys that has it. He's just really good at that whole thing. The other ones really are kind of stiff and not very much fun.
Right.
You'll have a couple of shiners there, but Caitlyn Clark did the news. The whole bit was she was ragging on Michael Che for all the jokes he makes about female athletes. And it came off okay, but the bigger story is how gigantic of a star she's going to be. To even be able to get on that stage, have a smile, and not seem panicked.
Right.
When she kind of came at him with a couple one-liners you don't feel were scripted, or at least one. And I was like, man, this chick is going to be a monster in the WNBA. And we'll talk about that a little bit later with Brandon. Actually, next segment, we'll be talking about that draft coming up and what it means for them, because she's not the only player coming out that is, kind of interesting.
Angel Reese as well.
That's right. So could be a lot of big things happening for the WNBA, which is kind of exciting too.
It is.
It's to be honest with you, it's a little sad to see that league get passed over, considering how hard those girls work to become good at that, just because it's not the men's game. But it would be really nice to see it get a boost and do well.
And I don't know how this will translate to the future of the WNBA. It can only help. I don't know if it will help as much as what we saw with March Madness.
Right.
But I thought that was extremely significant how fast the one player and one story can catch the nation's interest and lead into so much more viewing than the men's tournament. I mean,
how much do you think social has to do with that?
A lot.
Yeah, perpetuating that story, because on television, it has, the bandwidth on TV goes, so far. But with social, referring back every other tweet or post or Snapchat or, Insta post or Facebook, it all goes back to her as an athlete. I would love to see Google search analytics on just her, the WNBA, what's been happening for female athletics over the last 60 days. I bet that would be kind of a fun number to see. A lot of people checking it out. All right, 407-916-1041. So OJ dies, and, prostate cancer was the official reason. It's what's happening after the fact that's kind of interesting. And it's so funny how bad that we were snowed as a culture to this guy and how we thought he really was. And maybe this will be a wake-up call. I doubt it, but who knows? It'll be
30 years later.
A wake-up call to people to realize that when you idolize people for a specific skill, maybe you need to be careful, because as a person, they may not be very savory. And I think that's kind of what we got here. We kind of got a wolf in sheep's clothing with OJ, because there's a little evidence that going back into even his childhood and as a young man, that he had some issues with his ability to mind himself. But the executor of this estate is an attorney named Malcolm Laverne is the guy's name. And he made a statement this past week that I thought was exceptionally egregious
and cruel
and mean. You remember, OJ was found not guilty for the criminal trial of the deaths of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman
in 1995.
But he was found civilly liable for those deaths in the civil case. So, OJ did a bunch of stuff after the fact that was really bizarre, namely the book, If I Did It, which was the rights were seized by the Goldman family immediately, and then they published it with the if in tiny, tiny print, and then the other words, I did it, in gigantic print, by O.J. Simpson.
I never knew that part.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't aware of that. That's kind of...
Yeah, because...
that's a nice move,
isn't it? They seized that because any money's made, we're supposed to go to the Goldman family, or, at least 31.5 million, I think, is what they were awarded. Now, we know that his pension was covered by legalities that wouldn't allow you to touch that. And then, he paid a nominal amount. Matter of fact, I don't even think it was into the hundreds of thousands. But this attorney comes out and says something like this. He says, it's my hope that the Goldmans get zero. Nothing, he told the Review Journal. I think this is in Atlanta, maybe. He says, them specifically, I will do everything in my capacity as the executor or personal representative to try and ensure that they get nothing.
Wow.
And you think to yourself, wow, man, this guy basically admitted doing this. And by the way, I've heard, if you listen to that interview of him when he's talking about the book and him not narrating, but basically talking about it, Sean was playing some of it yesterday. It's so, or Friday, it's so egregious. It's so bad. and he's laughing through the entire thing while talking about someone, they're being, quote, stuff everywhere. And they're like, stuff? And he goes, yeah, blood. And then he starts laughing. And then while laughing says, of course, this is a hypothetical. And it sounds crazy. Like, it sounds like you're listening to a complete and utter sociopath. Now, I guess there are a couple of other theories that somebody said that OJ hired a couple gangsters to pull this off, blah, 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 blah. There's a couple other things going around, but man, you look at the evidence, even the guy's Caitlyn that was, part of that whole thing, who heard the bump. The glove was in the alleyway, I guess, behind his place. He came out and said, that OJ never admitted it, but, according to what he knew inside, that, he thought he was guilty for sure. I think anybody that can read and look at the evidence could consider that he is a 99.9% chance of being guilty. But man, to have this come out, and then even Goldman, the dad, basically said, this doesn't help anything.
No.
This doesn't really, I don't get any great satisfaction. He goes, as a matter of fact, it's the other way. Now I don't have the possibility of having OJ ever really,
admitting it and taking responsibility.
Yeah, he goes, the hope of that is now dead. And it was very interesting hearing him talk about it because, you would think, like, if it was me, there'd be like an OJ death party because I'm that small. I'm trite when it comes to that. But for him, he was like, there's no solace in this. I'll never get to hear him say out loud or admit on his deathbed that he was responsible for my son's murder or my son's death. And then to have his attorney, the executor that's been working for OJ, I guess about, 8, 10, 12, 15 years or something, say that of all the people he doesn't want to get paid, it's the parents of the people who sued them, and more than likely the parents of the son that was killed by OJ himself.
Maybe he believed OJ.
Yeah, well, there's no question. Obviously, he believes him. But here's the thing. You can believe OJ and say, I'm going to do everything in my power to protect the estate for his children.
Exactly.
You can say that. You can go, hey, look, I don't agree. I don't think OJ did this. I know there's a civil trial or a civil judgment against my client, my former client. $33 million. I'm going to do everything in my power to protect my former client's estate and maintain it for the children and the benefactors of his immediate family. He didn't have to say that. He didn't have to go, these people aren't getting this money. I don't care what I have to do.
Yeah.
They're not getting paid.
Yeah, that's
God. Now, apparently,
poor choice of words.
Apparently, he's moonwalking that back a little bit today because, the story says here he never responded to any contact, any emails or calls. And then today I've heard he softened that blow a little bit because it was really, when you read it and you hear it, it's brutal.
According to a texter, Real Mobile 77031 says so far the family has received about $132,000.
Yeah, there you go.
On that, what?
31.5 million, 33.5 million.
30 years
and they don't know how much money he actually has because he put it all in a trust for his family, and so they don't know what his actual even worth is. They could make him liquidate certain things, come up with money, but again, I don't know if they're going to do that at all. I don't know if the Goldmans are going to push it now that he's dead. Who knows? All right, 407-916-1041. Don't forget your 4 o'clock keyword is happy, Happy. Go to realradio.fm and send that off for your chance at winning $1,000. Back in a sec with sports and our buddy Brandon Kravitz from 96.9 The Game.
Good luck.
Something on your mind? Text us at 77031. Standard data and message rates apply. Real Mobile is powered by Orange Buick GMC and OrangeBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Lowest prices on the highest quality jewelry. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Looking at a crash blocking multiple lanes on I-4 westbound this afternoon at Maitland Boulevard, causing stop-and-go delays on the interstate. Another crash causing heavy traffic at Good Homes Road just south of White Road. No major delays to report for drivers traveling on the Beach Line or the Greenway today. If you run into traffic problems, make sure you're calling the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by True Green. True Green is the easiest and most affordable way to get a beautiful lawn. All you have to do is water and mow. And to top it off, when you sign up for an annual plan by April 20th, you get 1 application free. Call or visit TrueGreen.com today. Restrictions apply.
Divorce? Call Trendley and Kramer, TK Law. OneFirmForLife.com. I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
With 3 generations and over 45 years of Florida experience, Handyman Roofing knows storms and hurricanes. We know how to evaluate storm-damaged roofs and not cause more damage. Handyman Roofing has the expertise to get your roof done. Plus, easy financing in case your insurance company is dragging its feet. With multiple emergency response teams ready, Handyman Roofing will be by your side now when you need it the most.
Knows how to get things done. Count on Handyman Roofing to get it done. Handyman Roofing to get it done.
My wife and I both, we ended up mildly sick for a few months, and the nasal congestion was probably the worst part. I had like a post-nasal drip, just super congested all the time. We were taking everything we possibly could, but nothing really worked.
Kyrie was miserable until a friend recommended Navage. Navage offers immediate drug-free congestion relief, flushing your nasal passages with refreshing saline and sucking out mucus, germs, and other airborne irritants. Don't live in misery this cold season. Use Navage so you can breathe easier, sleep better, and feel your best right away.
The biggest thing Navage has done has completely cleaned out my nasal passages. It was from the first use. I was able to just clear out anything that was stopping me from breathing correctly. Navage helps me clear the way, literally clear the way for me to operate better in the rest of my life.
Experience the Navage difference yourself. Navage is available at Navage.com or at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid. Navage, Navage.
They're modern-day con artists, and they're the focus of Creating a Con, a true crime anthology podcast. Season 1 spotlights Ray Trendley and his tech startup scam, endorsed by DJ Khaled and Floyd Mayweather, and built on empty promises and millions from bilked investors.
If someone's like, oh, what's your best way of making money? I don't think start a business. I'm like, oh, we should start some sort of scheme, and I can't help it.
Listen to Creating a Con on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Creating a Con.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Sunnyside Air Conditioning.
Oh, hi. My air conditioner is blowing hot.
For air conditioners making a funny noise, press 1.
No, it's...
Try to listen to the whole message before making a selection.
Sorry.
For air conditioners blowing cold, but not quite cold enough, press 2.
No, it's blowing hot.
I haven't gotten to that one yet.
Well, can we speed this up?
Don't get grumpy with me, or I'll take you back to the main menu.
No, anything but that. Please don't send me back to the main menu.
Fine, but I'm watching you.
Bet if I'd called Frank Gay, I'd already be getting my problem solved.
But you didn't call Frank Gay. So, what do we do now?
I'm calling Frank Gay.
When your air conditioner is blowing hot, you need a solution now. A helpful operator to guide you, all your options explained, and your problem fixed fast. That's the Frank Gay way.
If you're ready to pull your hair out, press 7.
Ah! That's the Frank Gay way.
FrankGayServices.com.
Hi guys, Nancy Grace here, host of podcast Crime Stories with Nancy Grace. It's so easy to think it will never happen to me or my family, but that is simply not true. We speak to victims' families. Every day is a mission to keep one more person safe. Listen to Crime Stories with Nancy Grace on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Crime Stories with Nancy Grace.
For all your windows and doors, go to FASWD.com. That's FASWD.com.
Are you offended? Obviously, we're only kidding. You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show.
Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate that as we do every single day. Happy is your 4 o'clock keyword. We just told you. Listen next time. Go to realradio.fm and send that away. It'll tell you exactly what to do when you get there. And then stay by your phone. That's how they tell you you've won. Happy is your keyword. Good luck, guys. Welcome back. I am Jim. Deb is here.
Hello.
Jack is here.
Hey.
And every single Monday around this time, we invite our good friend Brandon Kravitz to drop by from 96.9 The Game, talk a little sports. Give it up for the BK Broiler.
Hey!
Oh, my God. Sounds like I'm at a Magic game. It's so loud in here. This is great.
Boy, man. What a weekend for sports, big dog.
Let me tell you about it.
What a weekend for sports, big dog. Yeah.
This segment sponsored by the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind at pound 546 on your cell or whenyouneedus.com. Got a lot to get to in the next 15 minutes. That was incredible. My Sunday, personally, could not have worked out any better. Give me all of the 1 p.m. tip-off Magic games. I'm an early riser as it is with a 4-year-old.
Yeah.
And so I was ready to go. Got over to the arena at like 11:30. They were serving up breakfast as the media meal.
Love that.
I'm out of the arena by 4:30 in the afternoon. Got home just in time to watch the rest of the Masters.
Like that. Stop for a second. I think there's a misconception when you're like in the media, like you go into the media room, there's this lavish outlay of food and drink, and you go in there and you just eat yourself silly, then stumble into the arena or the Kia Center and then do your job. What was the makeup? I've been to one of those buffet scenarios when I used to work and do a little sideline stuff for the Preds. And it was okay then, mostly dinner stuff. What's a breakfast setup like there?
They've got a big vat of scrambled eggs, some of those home-style French fries, the wedges, cinnamon French toast sticks.
So basically,
could have been hot. The French toast sticks could have been hotter.
Yeah.
No, honestly, it was.
So basically, it's a Marriott, like that breakfast you get at Marriott.
It's like a little
waffle iron.
I would say a little bit better than that.
Oh, very nice. All right,
no, they do a really good job. And that has not always been the case, but they've really stepped up at the arena. The meals are usually pretty on point.
People like the behind the scenes stuff, so I figured I'd give them a glimpse there. All right,
sure,
I love that.
Yeah. So it's actually, if from where I sit on the club level, if you were to look down to the left, it's kind of down one of these. It's in the exact opposite, straight away from where the players run out.
Mm-hmm.
Where the players run out, if they were just to run straight rather than diagonal to go to the court, they would run right to the media.
Oh, yeah.
The media room.
the area there.
Yeah.
All right, so you get a Magic game. Let's talk about that in a second because the Magic have some exciting stuff happening. Let's talk about the Masters. Let's get that out of the way. Scotty Scheffler wins his second in 3 years. This guy's on a tear like we've not seen since Tiger Woods. Everybody wondered who was going to step up and try to fill those shoes as the big draw for the PGA Tour. The problem is this guy can play, but he isn't fun to watch.
Yeah.
And that's not a problem per se because he's a good guy. He's exactly what you would think the PGA Tour would want. But I've said for years about the PGA Tour, they need another Tiger Woods, yes, no question, but they really need another John Daly.
Right.
They need a villain, and all the villains went to live. Bryson DeChambeau, Brooks Koepka, Phil, they all went away. So now you just basically have a bunch of nice guys battling out to see who can shake each other's hand the hardest and congratulate them at the end of the day. Nobody hates losing out there. They're all buddies. They all go on a tweet fest of how much they love each other and how grateful they are just to be there, which is dog-ass. They need to be mean AF out there and be trying to cut each other's throat.
Don't you think that's part of the reason why Scotty Scheffler is having the run that he's having? He's not obsessed with social media or being everybody's friend. This guy wants to get in and get out, and he wants to get out with a win. I almost think, and just listening to some of his post-round interviews and everything, Sounds to me like he's burdened with his talent.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I had this very conversation with my son yesterday. I said, there's a couple players on tour for years I've known personally from people who are in the game and you know who one of them is? Brooks Koepka plays golf for a living because he can.
Right.
Because that guy will tell you the instant he gets home, his clubs go in the trunk and he doesn't even think about golf. Doesn't care at all. He just can do it. There's a guy back in the day named Bruce Litsky. Bruce Litsky would play the tour minimum tournaments it took to be on tour. I think it was 15 back in the day. He would play that many tournaments and that's it. And he only played golf for a living because he could. He really didn't enjoy the tour, didn't enjoy what he enjoyed playing, but it wasn't like his life goal, and that's what we have here.
Yeah, and I don't know where Scotty fits onto that spectrum. I know there are a lot of athletes that fit into the category you're talking about that are much more they do it because they've done it forever and they're so good at it that this is their profession and they're able to completely compartmentalize that from their real life, and the quality of their play has no bearing whatsoever on their happiness. What I see in Scotty, because I can't gauge that, how much he loves the game or any of that, I think he hates losing. I think that is the thing that drives him. It reminds me a little bit of, just use the most notable example, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
Those guys weren't obsessed with winning. They were obsessed with not losing.
Right.
So they got what the difference is that there's no, Tom Brady was like this. You notice that it's the greats. Like their obsession is, I can't stomach losing. And so the winning is just relief. They can't even celebrate it.
He did.
Scotty Scheffler did not seem excited that for a moment when he was hugging his caddy, but outside of that, I don't think he's celebrating the win. He's relieved that he didn't lose and he can move on with this.
Well, who's the guy from the Nuggets that did the same thing?
Nikola Jokic is exactly the same.
I want to go home. He wins the championship, and he's like, I want to go home. I want to go ride my horses. I want to go ride my buggies.
I think Jokic fits the first category a little bit more, where he is so ridiculously skilled and talented. He likes playing with the guys that he plays with. I would venture to guess Nikola Jokic watches zero basketball.
None.
He's interested in the game he plays, and then
That's
he's
Koepka.
out.
Koepka doesn't watch golf. These guys don't watch golf. They don't care. They don't look. They play because they can. I mean, these guys are just, and he's on auto. I mean, that guy's on cruise control. Again, I'm talking to my wife about this game, and I'm talking about, and we're watching Colin Morikawa, and they have the shot tracer. I said, you notice when this guy hits the ball, it can curve one way? I said, look at when Scotty Scheffler hits it. I said, it's like somebody just threw a straight laser right from his golf club to the flag every single shot. His ball just doesn't move unless he wants it to. The guy is an unbelievable player. He's got the worst swing in golf. It's the craziest looking thing ever. It sounds like he's peeling out every time he hits a shot, but he is very good, better than good. And he readily beat that field with very little effort whatsoever.
Do you want some of the stats on just how ridiculous this win is?
Yeah.
Consistency wise, at his age, he joins Tiger Woods as the only players to win the Players Championship in Ponte Vedra and the Masters in the same year. So when you say this hasn't happened since Tiger, this is a very accurate statement at this point. Scheffler is also the fourth youngest to have his second Masters victory. Tiger Woods and Jack Nicklaus are on that list.
About 27 years old.
And he's 27.
Yeah.
7 birdies, the most in a final round by a Masters champion since Nick Faldo did it in 1989.
Right.
And
also, I believe he hasn't shot over par since October. I think his scoring average right now is about 67.5, and you guys don't understand. He's doing that on some of the hardest golf courses in the world against the best players in the world. I will tell you straight up, Bay Hill used to be kind of a cakewalk for guys that come in town and shoot 16, 17 under. The way that thing is set up right now, it is one of the most difficult courses on the tour by a million, and he hasn't shot over par in months. It's 30-plus rounds at the highest level of play. Yeah. On the hardest golf courses on planet Earth, this guy continuously breaks par. And his worst round is even.
And he's not just winning. He's shutting it down by midday on Sunday.
Yeah, that's the only pissed off thing about it. It's like by the whole 11, I look at my wife and go, what do you want to do?
Yeah,
'Cause,
I mean,
we're clear now, and nobody's catching this guy.
My biggest compliment to Scotty Scheffler is you're making the game of golf more boring than it already has
Stop
been.
saying that. God, don't. And this is you got to remember in the Masters field, a lot of people will say, well, he's beaten everybody, but he's not beaten like Brooks and Bryson DeChambeau and Dustin Johnson and Cam Smith and all the big players that went over to live. Well, he just did it. I mean, they were at the Masters, and he just beat the complete hell out of every one of them with no problem. Everybody going freaked out because DeChambeau shot like 67 or 5 or something the first day. And then, of course, off you go, buddy.
Yeah, that guy can't putt.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of things. A lot of things. But let's get to the Magic right here in town. That's exactly what we're talking about because the Magic are now in the playoffs. We drew Cleveland for the first game. For the first series.
Yes,
which
and
first
that one
game
starts on Saturday. We still don't know what time that game tips off, and we should find out. I thought they would release it already, but because I'm trying to map out my schedule over the weekend.
Yeah, I got you, buddy.
I think we'll find out on Wednesday. If you keep refreshing over the next couple of days, probably not going to do any good for you. So we'll find out on Wednesday when the Magic tip off. But it's going to be against Cleveland. It's in Cleveland. The Magic didn't get home court advantage. That's a bummer. Playing on the road for the Magic has not been nearly as fruitful as playing at home. So the start of this series is going to be pivotal, as it is for any team out there that starts a playoff series. The Magic have to take one in Cleveland in order to feel good about things when you come back home. And I think the Magic match up really well with Cleveland. These are two teams that kind of play a very similar style. They're both top 10 defensively. They're both bottom 15 offensively. But the Cavs have two guys that can score at a higher rate than the Magic have.
Right.
In Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland. They've been banged up throughout the course of the year. Will injuries become a problem for them in the playoffs? That's a question mark. But, the Magic right now, I'm not going to say they're playing with house money. You got to this point. You want to see how far you can take it. But if you're talking about a matchup that you would have circled and said, we can beat that team, the Cleveland Cavaliers fit that mold.
When I saw that this morning, based on our conversations we've had coming into the scenario, that's exactly what I thought. I was like, wow, man, the Magic get lucky again. I think this is probably the best possible draw. We tied these guys in the regular season, 2 wins, 2 losses. So, again, I think it's the best possible scenario. But I do believe the Magic need somebody to step up and score. It can't be all on Paolo. Somebody's got to step up and pour in some buckets. Hopefully it's Franz. Can just hit a hot streak and get in there and just go crazy and have it be one of those series,
So for those two guys, when they have combined for 50 points in a game this season, the Magic are 19-4.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
So that's the formula for them. Play good defense. Paolo and Franz, both of them have to go off. One of the things that we saw is a little wrinkle in the 82nd game of the season. Hadn't seen it in the 81 prior. Jonathan Isaac was the starting center for the Magic for the first time all year. He got starter minutes. He played with the starting unit. So he's playing with Paolo and he's playing with Franz and Jalen Suggs. With Jalen Suggs and Jonathan Isaac on the court together at the same time, their defense goes from good to elite. And it made a big difference. And I believe I had Jamal Mosley on my show earlier today, and I tried to pry it out of him. He said he wasn't willing to give me the game plan. So take that for what it's worth. But I think he's going to keep Isaac in the starting lineup, and that could be the secret weapon.
Why 82 games to try that combo?
I think to get ready for this. Jonathan Isaac has not been the pillar of health. He's been the furthest thing from it in his NBA career.
Just keep him healthy for the first series?
You're kind of keeping him on ice throughout the course of the season. Part of it also was circumstantial. Wendell Carter Jr., who's their starting center, he had some back spasms in prior games. He hadn't been playing great. So we don't know if it was performance-based or if it was injury-based, but he'd never been the starting center in place of a missing Wendell Carter Jr. before. So it feels like they've been kind of saving this in their back pocket as like a secret weapon. That's what I called it.
A one-game rehearsal before the playoffs?
Yeah, a one-game rehearsal, and they needed to win that game because if the Magic lost that game, they were threatening the possibility of having to play in a play-in game just to make the playoffs.
Oof.
You know, the play-in is a fun little wrinkle to the NBA postseason. It's not technically the playoffs. You don't guarantee yourself a playoff series if you're in the play-in, because if you don't win in this mini March Madness tournament, then you're out. And you didn't want to face that. Not with the season the Magic had, where they, 2 weeks ago, we were talking about them as a possible 2 seed, and then, you know, they put themselves in a position after losing 4 out of their last 5 before winning that last game on Sunday where they could have been a very quick exit and not actually seen a postseason series.
Where's the pre-series money on this?
The Cavs are slightly heavy favorites. They're minus 195, which means you'd have to lay $195 to win 100, and the Magic are plus 165. A $100 bet would win you $165. So the Cavs, I don't.
Is home court?
Home court. This team has been there before. Although being there before, and this is my knock against Cleveland, has not paid off for them. This is not the LeBron
It's
Cavs.
not.
Donovan Mitchell, as the head of the snake on that team, he took this team to the playoffs last year. They played New York in round one. They lost 4-1 in that series, and it wasn't even close. They got smacked. I mean, they were dominated in almost every single game. Every game they lost, it was a bloodbath. So this Cavs team does not have a good playoff history, but they have home court advantage, and they've been there before. The Magic haven't, so we'll see how that plays itself out.
Very good. Well, we're obviously going to be watching first game Saturday.
First game Saturday. We'll find out what time, probably on Wednesday.
Yeah, but because of that, Orlando City will move from the game over to Real Radio if you want to listen to the game. What a weekend for Orlando City.
Yeah.
The most goals that they've scored in MLS play this season. You needed to find a semblance of offense, and they did it. Better late than never. Duncan Maguire with the game-sealing goal in stoppage time. Pedro Gallese was amazing in the second half, stopping 5 different opportunities for DC United. So big win for Orlando City.
And I think we have Montreal coming up this weekend. The 20th coming up this weekend.
Coming up on Saturday.
So hopefully we can get some more points there. And let's end it up with the W. Oh, go ahead.
No, well, I was going to say, I probably don't even need to mention this because it's like a week or two old at this point. But you asked me while we were ending a segment a couple weeks ago, you said, what about spring ball? And I answered the question and said, I don't care. It's an organized scrimmage. I was talking about spring football. UF, UCF, and their intramural game, essentially. I believe you were asking me about the XFL.
I was asking you about that.
Okay.
Yes, I was asking you about that.
The reason why that just popped into my head is that UCF and Florida both had their spring games over the weekend.
Oh, did they really?
So,
Okay, very good.
UCF debuted a new quarterback in KJ Jefferson, and Florida's got an interesting situation on their hands. Graham Mertz was one of the best quarterbacks in college football last year, even though Florida wasn't very good. He's kind of a boring veteran. They have DJ Lagway, this 5-star freshman. He looks like baby Cam Newton. They're gonna have but he's green, so they're going to have a tough call to make. But anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there.
All right, got about a minute and a half. WNBA draft, big deal. Obviously, Caitlyn Clark on SNL this weekend could be a massive impact for this sport, but there are other athletes as well.
So I have not watched a second of the WNBA draft, I think, in my entire life. Yeah. And Caitlyn Clark, I call her like the gateway drug of women's basketball. I'm locked in tonight. I'm excited to watch it, and I can't even quite put my finger on it because it's not like you don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
Caitlyn Clark's going to go first overall. She's going to be drafted by the Indiana Fever, but there are enough stars to at least keep me locked in for like 6-7 picks. Cameron Brink from Stanford. She's an absolute stud. She's probably going to go top 3. Then you have Camila Cardoso, who's the center for South Carolina that absolutely dominated that national championship. She's going to be a top 5 pick. And Angel Reese out of LSU, who's a big star in her own right. She's a top 10 pick. So now you have these stars that are filtering into women's professional basketball, and I got nothing else going on tonight, so it's WNBA draft for me this evening.
And to give you the idea of the impact, I guess already Indiana has been booked for how many television games now, like 20 or something like that?
It's amazing.
I mean, they're already with this draft, worst team in the league, and they're already booked for more TV time than any other team out there just simply because of Caitlyn Clark. The money she's making in the league already, and she hasn't even dribbled a basketball yet.
We see, if you go to this one team just is the one that stood out to me. I'm sure there's more. The Phoenix Mercury, who have Diana Taurasi, one of the greatest ever, they already have a promotion with a graphic that says the GOAT versus the Rook. And the GOAT is a picture of Diana Taurasi, the real person. The Rook is a silhouette that looks like Caitlyn Clark and has the number 22, but it's just a black silhouette because they can't say Caitlyn Clark.
Right.
She's not on Indiana yet. I've never seen that in my life. They're promoting a game for a specific player. That player has not even been drafted yet, but it does go to show her star power. She was great on SNL. She's going to be incredible for the league, and she is the gateway drug for me in terms of paying attention to women's basketball.
I got to tell you, man, Tiger Woods had such a massive impact on golf, brought so many different cultures and diversity to the game. This is going to be the same thing for women's sports. It's really going to drive a lot of girls to really take up athletics, maybe basketball, maybe not basketball. Maybe look at other sports they may be acclimated to play, but it's going to be an impactful situation. There's no question.
Yeah, and I think the best part about it is that you end up learning about everybody else. I'm going to watch
Right.
the draft tonight because of Caitlyn Clark, but I'm going to end up learning about 10 to 15 other women that we might end up following throughout the course of the season.
And we know that's what happened to the viewership of the championship series there when she was playing. I mean, that's what they were saying is like, yeah, they tuned in to see Caitlyn, but they learned about so many other players, through the broadcast. So always good seeing you, buddy.
The more the merrier. Listen to Under Oath with attorney Jeff Kaufman every Saturday morning starting at 7:30 a.m. on 96.9 The Game and Real Radio 104.1 with extended versions available for Under Oath with Jeff Kaufman on your favorite streaming platform.
Thank you, buddy. There he is, Brandon Kravitz, good and loud.
Flame broiled.
Your hospitality is unlike any other in the building.
Broiler. All right, buddy, we'll see you next week. 407-916-1041. Back in a sec with more of the Jim Colbert Show. Hang loose.
Real radio. It is.
The Monsters in the Morning.
I lost the power in the bedroom years ago. And I don't
We
think
got to take it back, Russ.
I don't think I'm ever going to get it back.
The Monsters in the Morning.
Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
Good afternoon. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Garner, and I've got your forecast update here for the Orlando region. Today, we're topping out at 86. That's about 3 degrees warmer than normal. Beautiful day, bright sunshine, just some high clouds. But this week will be known for its heat. Yeah, in fact, we warm things up into the mid-90s by this weekend. Now, one good thing is that being springtime, there's no real humidity to worry about, so at least it won't be that really muggy July-style brand of mid-90s. For the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Brooks Garner.
This report is sponsored by MD Now Urgent Care. For over 15 years, Floridians have trusted the physician-led team at MD Now Urgent Care for high-quality health care. From injuries and illnesses to school and sports physicals, MD Now Urgent Care is here to get you back to better. Find a location near you at mdnow.com and use their convenient web check-in today.
The countdown to the Paris Olympics is on. Hi, everybody. It's Savannah Guthrie.
I'm Hoda Kotb from the Today Show. We are so excited to kick off our celebration.
Yeah, this week, before the world gathers in the City of Light, Today is bringing its magic of Paris to the plaza.
And Wednesday, it's just 100 days to go. Team USA hopefuls and champions will be taking over all morning for a huge party.
It's going to be epic, so join us this week on NBC.
Because today is where the games begin.
Looking for more than just a job? If you're mechanically inclined, an auto mechanic, certified welder, machinist, or a CDL driver with a strong work ethic, Ring Power, your North and Central Florida Caterpillar dealer, is the place. Whether you're beginning a career or making a change, Ring Power has apprenticeship and paid training for qualified candidates to help become skilled technicians. Join us at our Orlando facility career fair on Saturday, April 27th, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. For more information or to pre-register, visit jobfair.ringpower.com/Orlando. Join a winning team. Join Ring Power.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-777-1979. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-777-1979. That's 800-777-1979. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-777-1979. 800-777-1979.
Another happy Safelite customer.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
There I was driving down the highway when out of nowhere, a rock hits my windshield. So annoying. But then I remembered Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace. I booked my appointment at Safelite.com. And with my insurance, my new windshield was no cost to me. Safelite even handled my insurance claim, which was the best.
Cracked windshield? Just go to Safelite.com and let Safelite take care of everything.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
A fifth third better means we put in 166.7%.
What does that mean?
Well, at Fifth Third Bank, our name equals 166.7%. So that's how hard we work. That means free checking, no hidden fees, and helping to protect your identity.
Explain it in baseball terms?
It's a home run.
Basketball terms?
It's a slam dunk.
Football.
Touchdown.
Highlight?
Buzzball.
Cricket.
Golden duck.
Wow. Guess that really is a Fifth Third better.
That's what a Fifth Third better means. This is banking a Fifth Third better. Fifth Third Bank, National Association member FDIC.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations like One Hit Wonders.
This is the story of a girl. I'm not sick, but I'm not well.
Just search One Hit Wonders and listen now on your free iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
Fraudulent tax returns due to identity theft increased by 30% in 2023. If you're in a bind this tax season, LifeLock can help. Their U.S.-based restoration specialists are dedicated to helping solve identity theft issues, and all plans are backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, which means if you lose money because of identity theft, LifeLock will reimburse you up to the limits of your plan. Help protect your information with LifeLock. Go to LifeLock.com and save up to 25% your first year with my name, Clay, as your promo code.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
You got a service dog?
Actually, he's a deals dog. Since I'm looking for a new car, I trained him to sniff out awesome rates, member discounts, and fast decisions. Cool, huh?
But you know Navy Federal Credit Union has all those things, right?
You're right. He's got the scent. Oh, wait. Nope. That's just the bacon in my pocket.
Apply for a Navy Federal Credit Union auto loan online, at a branch, or in our mobile app. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Message and data rates may apply. Visit NavyFederal.org for more information.
The 2024 NFL Draft is here, and we have the ultimate watch party for you. It's 96.9 The Game's Draft and Crash Party at the Hilton Orlando Altamont Springs. We have taken over the ballroom to hang out and watch the NFL Draft. Tickets start at $28, and it gets you an all-you-can-eat buffet and 2 beer tickets. It's 96.9 The Game's Draft and Crash Party at the Hilton Orlando Altamont Springs. To get tickets, head to 969thegame.com/Hilton. Brought to you by Mills Air.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
This is why YouTube was created at Jim Colbert Show on YouTube. Subscribe and watch.
You want to steal my identity for taxes? Go right ahead. I owe tons of money every year. All they're going to do is be stealing a bill. Have at it.
Sing us a song here on the piano. We interrupt this program for Butt Tag Jimmy Ram-a-lam. Butt Tag Jimmy Ram-a-lam.
Butt Tag Jimmy Ram-a-lam. It's Sham-a-lam, sir.
And we'll have an update about the Billy Joel concert coming up.
Right,
you
good.
heard it here first.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Your 4 o'clock keyword. We got about 5 minutes left to get over there and get that cash. It's happy, Happy. Slide over to realradio.fm. Send that off for your chance at $1,000. It's that easy, Jack.
Good luck.
Just that easy, buddy. You want to make an over and under on how many winners we have? What are you mad about?
I just refreshed the page, and then I was like, I saw up to the 2 o'clock winner, so the 3 o'clock winner was just posted, and I'm like, show Orlando and show Real Radio. And I posted, and it clicked 3 o'clock winner, and it said Orlando, and then it said WXXL.
Oh!
We're already behind.
God
And it's
almighty.
only day one.
God almighty. Their listeners don't deserve it. They know it. They know it. Johnny knows it. Brian knows it. They all know it.
Yeah, horrible people.
Ray knows it. Awful human beings. Never listen to that morning show. Or they're the coolest people you ever met in your entire life. That's what sucks about this radio stations.
Yeah.
I mean, this cluster is like some of the coolest people. We'd love to have a radio war, but what are you going to You going to get mad at Taco Bob? Like the sweetest blinking human being that ever lived? Or Pat? Or Jenny or John?
Yeah.
No, they're all awesome people. I hate it.
Mel Taylor over on JR is so cool. We're going to have her on the show this Thursday.
That's right. It's just how good it is. Oh, and speaking of which, we haven't even made the announcement because it happened
Friday night. Friday night, the announcement happened after our show.
Yeah, so Friday night, big announcement. I know that Deb and the guys plugged it. I plugged it on Thursday a little bit before I left for my weekend. Ross Padgett and his writing buddy, Joel, announced that they are going to have a podcast on Wednesdays at 8 o'clock called
Ross Hole with Joel.
No, Good Sauce.
Oh, yeah.
It's Good Sauce.
Good Sauce with Ross and Joel.
Yeah, Good Sauce with Ross and Joel.
Yeah.
Joel's been on the show before. He sat in with us a number of times. Everybody loves him.
Yes.
It's hilarious.
You knew him as
Daryl
when Ross first came on the air
5 years ago, 6 years ago.
A lot of people didn't know that guy wasn't Daryl. Dwayne,
my bad.
The guy who hated
his
Ross,
other brother,
his
other
nemesis.
brother Dwayne.
It just happened to be his best friend and his writing partner. They also have a Fringe show coming up called 10 Sketches.
Yes,
that we all can't wait to see.
Yeah.
We all talked to Ross last week. We're all still great friends. We all love him dearly, and we're very excited for this new project, which is going to be super funny. Those two guys are a complete blast to hang out with. I've been around them both a bunch. Joel is so quick and so funny and so well read.
No kidding.
And then, of course, Ross is Ross. So between the two of them, I'm sure it's going to be one of the best hours you can hear on the air.
Yeah, so that'll be Wednesday nights at 8 p.m., immediately following the first hour of A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan.
Who are two of the coolest human beings you could ever meet.
How about that? And credit to them for seeing this opportunity and making this happen. And within their show is just absolutely fantastic.
I wish it shocked me, but Daniel Dennis is one of the sweetest cats you'll ever meet. Tom is the same one.
Yep.
We've known each other for many, many, many years. And this is not shocking. Daniel is a very giving, sweet guy, and we can't thank him enough.
When's the last time you saw Tom?
I hadn't seen TC in a while.
He's like ripped now.
Oh, yeah. He wears bandanas.
Is he really?
A lot of bandanas, dude.
I do notice the bandanas.
A lot of bandanas that people who ride four-wheelers a lot wear.
Well, it's also got this 80s jersey vibe, this Springsteen vibe to it.
Yeah. It's very odd. Very 80s tennis.
Yeah.
He's got a very... He's got he pulls it on around his forehead, so his hair looks like he's got a hair fountain coming out of the top of his head.
Anyway, if you missed Ross's announcement and him talking about the show on A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan on Friday, there's actually a condensed version. It's less than 5 minutes long, and you find it on the Real Radio Facebook page. You can go there and listen to it. It's under 5 minutes, but him talking about the show and what he's learned, what he wants it to be, and introducing Joel as well. So it's a lot of fun, and shout out to Tom and Dan and Ross and Joel, and good luck with that. With the new show.
Looking forward to a new era of hearing his voice, and you never know what can happen in this business, guys. Look, no differently than what happened that was not good.
Yeah,
you don't know what can happen with time and what is good. So just stay tuned and keep supporting the kid and go seeing his shows. And we thank you for all of that. He's awesome.
And I love the text that just came in at 77031. I was today years old when I learned that Dwayne was just a radio bit.
Oops.
That's all right. It's fine. All right. 407.
And we didn't really fire a cannon.
916-1041.
Savannah was not in a deprivation.
Text us. Stop it, buddy.
I'm sorry. I'll dump that. I'll dump that. Do I have to dump it?
Yeah, no, you don't have to.
Okay.
It's fine. I think
Stanley Shovel.
I think people are forgetting. Oh, no, we did that. That roadkill bit was for real because we got in trouble because they dumped all the corpses in the dumpster here in the station.
And I remember that I was leaving UCF. I was a student at UCF, and I was still interning at the station, and I was driving there, and I passed a Real Radio van, and I was listening as they were driving around looking for roadkill to scoop up.
Yeah. Did you know that bit?
No.
Oh, yeah. They sent out Bubba, God rest his soul, Savannah, and I think a couple other members of the show, and the whole idea was to go out and get his roadkill. So the listeners would call in and say, hey, there's a dead raccoon or whatever on 434, or what, and they would act like they're running over there and getting it. There's a deer, and we did this whole bit. It was great, and I don't know how much of it was picked up, but I know that one of them took it seriously, and then when the count was done, they went into the dumpster out here at the radio station, which did not go over well with the management group.
I would imagine not.
Matter of fact, there was an email from the building manager to the radio station to the show about not doing that ever again.
Yeah, we also put an airboat in one of these ponds once to recreate a monsoon for a Survivor bit that we did. You just simply wouldn't believe what people would take off work to come in and do.
Oh, absolutely.
People took off work. Matter of fact, I think 2 people lost their job because of that gig.
Really?
Yeah. They just took off work so that we could pull an airboat up and blow 80-mile-an-hour wind in their face. By the way, not concerned with their well-being.
Right.
I mean, anything could have happened. The blade could have come off and hit somebody in the head. Nobody, I mean, we didn't, look, that was the 90s, dude. We didn't have there were no rules.
We said that we were going to have a possum kind of like Puxatawny Phil.
Mm-hmm.
This was when I was still at XL. And the bit was we were going to send a raccoon across the brand new open green, the greenway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if it made it across,
oh, God,
spring was going to come early. But if it got hit and killed.
Oh, my God.
There was no raccoon.
Oh, okay, good.
But people didn't know that.
Yeah.
Right. Was it a child
So
instead?
we started getting...
Maybe XL's a little more hard edge than we gave him credit for.
We had death threats. The program director came running out of the station. We come back from lunch and said, get out of here, get out of here. We're getting death threats left and right. Don't come back to the building for the rest of the day.
Was that program director that one guy?
Yeah, that one guy.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah.
And I actually made the wire. I made the news nationwide because I got to call Doc an asshole on the air.
Don't say that word.
They called me the cursing newscaster.
No, did you really?
That's what they called me, the cursing newscaster.
Don't try it with me. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. I have a question when we get back, and it's a good one. All right? The Olympic athletes are already complaining about something, and what they're complaining about makes sense. But it also brought up another question that I have to ask the audience and you guys. We'll do that next.
Your 30 seconds of airtime awaits. The Talkback feature on the free iHeartRadio app. Follow Real Radio 104.1, tap the microphone, and speak.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Still looking at activity that blocks the westbound left lane on I-4 at Maitland Boulevard. No major problems to report for those taking the Beach Line or the Greenway today. Looking at your regular afternoon slowdowns now for those on Florida's Turnpike near the Oakland Exchange exit. If you see traffic problems, make sure you're calling the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by True Green. True Green is the easiest and most affordable way to get a beautiful lawn. All you have to do is water and mow. And to top it off, when you sign up for an annual plan by April 20th, you get one application free. Call or visit truegreen.com today. Restrictions apply.
Man, what if I told you I could get you a new bathroom in just 4 to 6 days? You'd probably not believe me. But what if I told you on top of that, that if you just mentioned my show when you went to Rebath in Mid-Florida, on top of that bathroom in 4 to 6 days, they would give you $800 in upgrades. That's right, to apply however you want. Upgrade your fixtures, your tile, your shower doors, whatever the case may be. These guys are ready for you. And when I say ready, this is what I mean. They're ready to get you the bathroom of your dreams, whether it be your master bath, your guest bath, whatever the case may be. These guys are ready to get you a bathroom that you're going to love for many, many years, and they do it with great quality products and natural stone like Travertine marble, and they do it with great craftsmanship as well. As a matter of fact, the integrity of the company is so good that those 2 big box stores, the blue and the orange, that do all the DIY stuff for your house, well, Rebath does their installs for their bathrooms. If they can trust them, you certainly can. And with beautiful products and great installation you can't lose, they even have a design team to help you with your ideas to make them come to life. Visit their showroom. 436 in Altamont, right across from Kobe. When you walk in, you'll see some models set up. Those models are just to show you what the products look like. Every bathroom at Rebath is a custom bathroom, even more custom when you tell them you're coming there from the Jim Colbert Show and getting that $800 in upgrades for your new bathroom. Log on to the website, check out those before and afters, and then book your appointment. And don't forget to tell them you came from the Jim Colbert Show and you want your $800 in upgrades. It's the Jim Colbert Show for that $800 upgrades. It's Rebath, midfla.com.
Let me tell you a story. I had a client who got injured. He only asked for the insurance company to cover his rent for 3 months. They said no. We ended up getting him $325,000. Just call Mo. Mo Goulet, Orlando's injury attorneys. Prospective client may not obtain same or similar results.
I'm tired of everything being so expensive in 2024. Ooh, so I turned my truck into a time machine to travel back in time. I'm just gonna press this button and... Holy cow, I think it worked. Let's see what happens if I buy something at this drive-thru.
Welcome to McDonald's. Would you like to choose any two for $3.79?
It did work. Yes, my good lady. And what does $3.79 buy me in this bygone day and time?
Well, you can get a McChicken, a McDouble, a 4-piece chicken McNuggets, a small fries, or a small soft drink. Choose any two.
What a delight. I'll have the McDouble and a small fries. Just $3.79, you say?
Yes, sir.
Just one more question. Do you know what year it is?
It's 2024, sir?
Uh-huh. I see. The button I pressed changed the radio station. Very good. Very good. I'll take the McDouble and the small fries for $3.79 post haste.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Single item at regular price.
Turn up the cleanliness at your restaurant, healthcare, or industrial business with Alsco Uniforms, the official sponsor of the Orlando Magic Mop Crew. We've got you covered with crisp uniforms, hygienically clean linens, floor mats, and of course mops delivered weekly. But that's not all. Alsco Uniforms also offers weekly services for first aid and restroom supplies. Discover why it pays to keep clean with Alsco Uniforms. Visit alsco.com to learn more. Again, that's ALSCO.com.
Don't let spring allergies make you miserable. Try the quick, drug-free solution trusted by over 4 million people. Navage. Only Navage uses suction to flush out your sinuses using refreshing saline, helping you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. And here's even better news. Navage is now available at your local Sam's Club in a great new value pack. It's everything you need to start breathing better immediately at Sam's guaranteed best price. Navage. N-A-V-A-G-E. Breathe easy.
Did you know that your largest investment asset might not be your retirement account or home? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. Most people don't realize that their life insurance policy is actually an asset they can sell. But for almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. We've even created a free policy value calculator at abacuspays.com so you can find out in seconds what we might pay for your policy. There are no fees and no obligations, just information. Knowing the value of your life insurance policy is as important as knowing the value of your home, your equity portfolio, or your finances in total. Discover the valuable information you need to understand the current market value for your life insurance, and then get real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Visit abacuspays.com to learn more and use our free policy value calculator today.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment change-outs and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
It's 3 days of extraordinary store-wide savings at International Diamond Center. This Friday through Sunday. Get extra savings across the board. Up to 20% off. Rings, bands, earrings. Thousands of engagement ring mountings. This weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Only at International Diamond Center.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Find out at whenyounneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, money. M-O-N-E-Y, money. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
There's only one place to watch this nonsense. At Jim Colbert Show on YouTube.
Hey, I'm watching the radio on my phone, and I'm watching y'all on my phone right now, and I'm so excited to talk to y'all, and I can't wait. So yeah.
Was that a ransom call? Was that a cry for help?
No.
That what it was? All right.
I think someone might be trying to use the talkback feature for the very first time.
All right, there you go. They failed. Your 5 o'clock keyword is money, M-O-N-E-Y. Go to realradio.fm and send that up for your chance at $1,000. Remember, when you get there, it'll tell you exactly how to do it. When you do enter the contest, make sure you keep your phone near and turned on, because that is how they tell you you've won. We already had a winner in this cluster. XL had a winner.
Yeah.
That means we are ready to go.
Oh, let's go.
Money is your 5 o'clock keyword. Get over there and get that money for sure. Welcome back.
Kick him into Johnny.
I am Jim. There's Deb.
Hello.
And Jack is here as well.
What?
All right. So, when is the Olympics, Jack? Is today? Is this summer? Is the Paris Summer Olympics?
Yes, and I guess you don't watch NBC at all.
I don't watch network television at all.
Well, how'd you watch the Masters?
I watched it on stream.
Aha!
Yeah.
Look at you.
Yeah.
You
Streamed it.
Code hacking.
Somebody came over and set it up for me.
Bravo.
Yeah.
So, NBC Paris Games this summer.
Yeah, so one of the big stories out of this is the costumes. Have you guys seen any of the stories about the kits that some of the athletes are going to wear? Now, obviously, with the summer athletics, I think the focus is probably on track and field and gymnastics. Is that fair? For the summer games?
The beach volleyball usually gets a little attention as well.
Like I said, it's probably the gymnastics and the track and field, right? That's probably the stuff there. Well, Nike, I guess, is designing the kits for the athletes this year, and there are some concerns.
Okay.
Have you heard any of the concerns? Tara Davis Woodall, who is a long jump athlete who was in the 2020 Olympics, says, I'm not sure about these. And the reason why is because, wait, my hoo-ha is going to be out. That's what she said. She says, you shouldn't have to deal with an outfit that requires constant, I'm going to make sure I get this right, constant pube vigilance. Because apparently they're
tiny.
They're so tiny and small in that area for some women that if they don't groom properly, you know how sometimes these shots can get in these games?
Absolutely.
Specifically with gymnastics, because of the nature of the moves and stuff, inevitably you're going to catch a girl in a really in a compromising, photograph with legs spread and a shot's real clear because it's swarming with photographers. Okay, Jack.
No, that wasn't. No,
you shouldn't make this sound like I just had great barbecue.
You're making.
He's not wrong.
You're making it creepy. No, I was agreeing with you.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that is the issue. So this Tara Davis Woodall said, this is ridiculous. My hoo-ha is going to be hanging out. Now, look, I am sympathetic to that, but the story that I where did that come from? Who was the first person that called their down part area a hoo-ha? Where do we get any of these names for our genitalia? Where does that happen?
Oh, time out. I thought we were talking about the Olympics.
No, we're not talking about the Olympics.
This just took a turn.
This took a wig turn. Because here's the thing.
That is a term that
where'd it come
I am
from?
very familiar with.
Okay.
But
where?
I don't know.
Tell me where that came from.
I remember using it for a long, at least 20 years.
And why?
I don't know where I got it from.
Why is a woman's private part called a hoo-ha? Who came up with that? Who first called it a hoo-ha? Among another, do you know how many names there are for that thing? Do you know how many names there are for our things? It's so ridiculous. By the way, 407-916-1041. Please call me.
No.
And please call the show and tell us how hoo-ha became a name for a girl's part. Now, look, I understand why. You don't want to have to say those words out in public, and a hoo-ha is a cute way to say that. Matter of fact, I believe a lot of moms will use cute names like this so that when they're talking to their daughters about sensitive things like that, they say stuff like that so they don't have to say that other word. Because that other word is crazy. Do you know some of the other names for it?
Oh, of course.
Okay, well, I mean, look, do you know bajingo?
Bajingo?
That's one. How have you heard this one?
JJ.
You got that one. How about minky?
No.
Minky. How about foof?
Foof, I've heard.
You've heard foof?
I've heard foof.
I've never heard foof. How about foo-foo? Have you heard foo-foo?
No.
This is just, listen. There is a list a mile long for boys and girls parts.
Yep. Apparently, it started gaining traction, hoo-ha, as a euphemism for vagina in early 2006 when it made it into a Grey's Anatomy script.
No, Jack has been saying, look, Jack's right.
Longer than that.
Hoo-ha has been around for a while, dude. Now, I mean, they maybe picked it up and used it and whatever.
But
That's
I'm
fine.
doing your research, so don't.
No. Look, I don't want to do research. I want people to tell me because I have no idea. What? Okay, here's another one for. Have you ever heard this one for a woman's part? Klung.
Oh my!
Ew.
No, is that German?
They think perhaps it came from a Yiddish word.
What?
A hullabaloo. Well, you know when you call someone a putz, what you're really calling them.
Oh yeah.
You're not calling them a putz.
Right,
You're
right,
calling
right.
them-
Okay, we get it.
Yeah. Here's another one, Jack. Did you know a woman's part at one point was called a fandango?
Oh my, that's a movie
A
app.
fandango.
I have that app on my phone. Wait a minute.
They say that's a more exotic, funny version of Fanny. So, she's got a nice fandango. In other words, you don't have to say Fanny out loud. You can say fandango.
That's a big one in England.
Right.
That's what they call it.
Oh,
It's
really?
the fanny.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Because when I worked at Hard Rock for a while, the tourists would just come in. All they wanted was the price card so that they could go back and show their friends that you can get a fanny pack. You know.
This has been the call to action that our texting our texting audience has been waiting for because the texts are coming in hot and heavy.
All right.
With
Flower.
all the different nicknames.
Now, flower, I've heard.
Flower,
yes.
yeah.
Flower, we've heard, right?
Yep.
Yeah, because I usually say I need to shake the dew off my out.
That's right. B. We know this one that starts with the B word. They make dams.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't want to say that one. Right? How about this
the
one?
more well known it is, the more uncomfortable we are
I know.
actually saying.
Front bottom.
No.
Doodah. I've not heard that one either.
I have not heard of doodah.
I'll do that A.
Okay, what is this one? This one sounds like an. She hurt her tuppence.
Her tuppence.
Her tuppence.
Never heard of that.
Very British feel to it.
Very.
This one is whispering eye.
Ew.
I've never heard Cooch, of course. Minge. Have you ever heard that one?
I've heard of minge.
You've heard Minge?
Texter has whisker biscuit.
Okay, Jack. Okay, Jack. I think we can say anything that starts with beard or whisker. We get it. Jack, that's a little too.
That one is over the line. All right.
Your new? You heard that one?
No.
Growler?
No.
Growler.
Your nanny?
Oh, yeah.
You've heard nanny?
Your nanny.
Your nanny?
Mm-hmm.
Haven't heard that one either.
Oh, it's a big one on the island.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm. Pum pum.
Poom poom?
They call it pum pum.
Poom poom?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Bits? Foof is my favorite so far.
Ert Locker.
What'd you say, Jack?
Ert Locker.
Did you say Hurt Locker?
Yes, that's what someone texted.
The texting service is great on this. And a lot of them we're not going to say.
No.
But Hurt Locker.
Penis
Damn.
flytrap?
Oh, that's funny.
Dudes have got them too, though. Those are a little gross, though. Chode. Yeah, I can't read these.
Yeah.
Although one of them is funny. Chuck Dickens. Disco stick. We heard that with Lady Gaga. Yeah. Frankton beans. God, where did hoo-ha come from? Is that accurate, though?
It looks like it's a Yiddish word.
Well, yeah, hoopla is the word in Yiddish that they think it might have transformed from that. And another texter was crediting Oprah. So it might have been something then, Oprah might have used on her show once, and then...
Yeah, that goes back to the 80s,
Then
though.
it just spreads.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
easy.
Well, easy.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying.
Where did Minky come from? What is Minky?
Oh, I have no idea.
Where does Bajingo come from?
I have no idea.
You're supposed to know this.
Why?
Because you know why.
Yeah.
Because I have one?
Yes. You're supposed to know all the names for it. I know the names for mine.
She didn't even know Whisker Biscuit.
I know mine's called Goldfinger. But truthfully, though, where did Johnson come from? Why did people start calling a male genitalia Johnson? Was that because of like a ragging on somebody? Like you're a Johnson because that person happened to be a D word?
Or in the bathroom being referred to as a John.
Oh, maybe so.
There's a connection there, and I'm sure it has to do with someone named John or Johnson.
And then how did
I was going to go with Johnsonville Brats, but that's just me.
And then how did all of it become your junk? Like because remember, because you call your parts your junk. When did that happen? When did everybody start calling?
You tell us. You have one.
No. It's for both. Like you can say,
you're
hey,
most likely to use that term.
Who?
You.
No.
Yes.
Like, it's in a Kesha song. Boy's trying to touch my junk. She calls her own parts junk. Like, where did that come from? Hammer of Thor, I get.
Good God. My grandmother called it a water lily.
Oh, what? Mount Vesuvius? One-Eyed Pete? Pepperoncini? Popsicle?
There are so many things we
Oh, my
cannot
God.
say
Yeah, we
here.
cannot say half
No.
of these. Oh, my God. That's a no. That's a no. That's a go to jail. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. We had some calls there, Jack. Screen those. We'll take them after the break. Back in a sec with more of the Jim Colbert Show.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Shop the best quality jewelry and lowest price. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Still looking at activity that blocks the westbound left lane on I-4 at Maitland Boulevard. No major problems to report for those taking the beach line or the Greenway today. Looking at your regular afternoon slowdowns now for those on Florida's Turnpike near the Oakland Exchange exit. If you see traffic problems, make sure you're calling the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. With traffic, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by True Green. True Green is the easiest and most affordable way to get a beautiful lawn. All you have to do is water and mow. And to top it off, when you sign up for an annual plan by April 20th, you get one application free. Call or visit truegreen.com today. Restrictions apply.
The Jim Colbert Show question of the day, it's in our YouTube chat. You go to YouTube, search Jim Colbert Show. You can watch the show, take part in the chat, vote in the poll. We'll talk about the results at the end of the program. It's brought to you by the Home Builders Network. You find them at hbnusa.com. That's Mike the Home Builder, telling you about him for over a decade here on Real Radio. You know, when you need a roof or you're not sure of the condition of your roof, you want to talk to someone you can trust, and that's Mike the Home Builder, and you find him at hbnusa.com, the Home Builders Network. But it's more than roofs. Maybe it's a window you want to replace. Maybe it's all your windows. Need a front door? Guess what? Mike can help. Mike the Home Builder at hbnusa.com. It's the Home Builders Network. Use someone local, someone you can trust. I used for my roof just over a year ago. He put a new roof on my house, did a fantastic job. Got gutters with covers as well. Yep, they do gutters. The Home Builders Network. Again, the website is hbnusa.com.
Santo Family Moving and Storage is Central Florida's trusted source for local and long-distance moving. From packing to delivery, Santo Moving is fully licensed and insured to provide you a seamless moving experience so you can enjoy your new home in no time. Get a quote today at centomoving.com. Forget the stress, move with the best.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Are you bogged down with constant sneezing, watery eyes, and congestion? Do you get sinus headaches and infections? No one should have to suffer season after season. And thanks to Aspire Allergy and Sinus, treating your allergies is easier than you think. With personalized treatment plans tailored to your needs and budget, you can say goodbye to allergy and sinus issues for good. Book your appointment today at aspireallergy.com. Aspire Allergy and Sinus. where relief is just around the corner. AspireAllergy.com.
My wife and I both, we ended up mildly sick for a few months, and the nasal congestion was probably the worst part. I had like a post-nasal drip, just super congested all the time. We were taking everything we possibly could, but nothing really worked.
Kyrie was miserable until a friend recommended Navage. Navage offers immediate drug-free congestion relief, flushing your nasal passages with refreshing saline and sucking out mucus, germs, and other airborne irritants. Don't live in misery this cold season. Use Navage so you can breathe easier, sleep better, and feel your best right away.
The biggest thing Navage has done has completely cleaned out my nasal passages. It was from the first use. I was able to just clear out anything that was stopping me from breathing correctly. Navage helps me clear the way, literally clear the way for me to operate better in the rest of my life.
Experience the Navage difference yourself. Navage is available at Navage.com or at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid. Navage, Navage.
Seminole Hard Rock Tampa is excited to bring you live craps, roulette, and sports betting. All under one roof, hotter than the Florida sun. Feel the luck of the dice, watch the roulette wheel spin, and scream for your touchdown as the big screen comes alive. Dine like a rock star, sip cocktails that shimmer, then dive into the heart of Las Vegas right here in Tampa Bay. Live craps, roulette, sports betting is here. Get in on the action now. Only at Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Tampa, located off of I-4 near I-75. Gambling problem? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
A Fifth Third Better means we put in 166.7%.
What does that mean?
Well, at Fifth Third Bank, our name equals 166.7%. So that's how hard we work. That means free checking, no hidden fees, and helping to protect your identity.
Explain it in baseball terms?
It's a home run.
Basketball terms?
It's a slam dunk.
Football.
Touchdown.
Highlight?
Buzzball.
Cricket.
Golden duck.
Wow. Guess that really is a Fifth Third Better.
That's what a Fifth Third Better means. This is banking a Fifth Third Better. Fifth Third Bank, National Association member FDIC.
Once a year in the spring, IDC does something insane, and it's happening this weekend. 3 days of extra savings store-wide. They're taking up to 20% off IDC's already unbeatable prices. Plus, get zero interest financing for up to 3 years. A $20 million 3-day sale on all rings, all earrings, all pendants, all bracelets, even designer engagement rings and designer fashion jewelry will be on sale. Wedding bands, timepieces. It's 3 days only. This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at IDC. All 4 Orlando locations.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you to explore right now, like One Hit Wonders Radio. The greatest one-hit wonders of all time. Ones you definitely remember. And ones that'll make you say, oh yeah. Just open the free iHeartRadio app, search One Hit Wonders, and listen now, commercial-free. Free never sounded so good.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
The Jim Colbert Show, streaming live on YouTube. Watch us talk.
And this is why I love this channel. Talk about, the Middle East crisis or how rent is skyrocketing. Nothing. Come up with different names for your tallywhacker. Phones ring off the hook.
Well, what are we supposed to do about the others, buddy? We talk about that all the time. Guess what it gets us? Nothing.
No, well, that was his point. He
yeah.
said you don't get, they're not calling for that.
Yeah.
They're calling for this.
Yeah. Well, no changes either. All right, 407-916-1041. Don't forget your 5 o'clock keyword is money, M-O-N-E-Y. Go to realradio.fm and send that off for your chance at $1,000, guys. Money is your 5 o'clock keyword. Good luck. We hope you win that cash. Remember, if you're playing the game, keep your phone near, keep it on. That is how they tell you you've won. They call. If you don't pick it up, they move on. So pick it up. I am Jim. There's Deb.
Hello.
Jack is here as well.
Yeah, he is.
We were just talking about the Olympic outfits. One of the high jumpers made a comment that her hoo-ha was going to come flying out if they had to wear these outfits because they were so slim. Nike made them.
Yeah.
This has kind of been a thing since they've come out. This has been about 2 weeks now. This has been in the media cycle. Today was the first time I've heard this, and when I heard hoo-ha, which I've heard before, I never stopped to think how that even came about, like how you start calling a female genitalia a hoo-ha. And I was just asking some people, and then it kind of moved on to other things as well, like why we call men's a Johnson. And actually, I think we have somebody on the phone that may help us out with that. Let's go to Larry on line 3. Larry, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
Hey, James, Devin, Jack. Good show as always.
Thank you, buddy.
It is said that President L.B. Johnson was extremely well endowed, and he had always had his pants tailor-made, where they added an extra 2 to 4 inches of cloth to his genital area because of that same reason. And apparently that's where the Johnson came for the male genitalia.
That makes perfect sense. As a matter of fact, he got into trouble because apparently he would pull it out. Like, do you remember that?
He wasn't shy about showing it?
Yeah, the story of like a female reporter had asked him a question about something, and he said, "This is why." And he basically pulled his member out and let it rip. And I think we actually have that recording, do we not?
Oh.
This is former President Lyndon Baines Johnson on a phone call. Because you got to remember, they record every phone call in and out of the Oval Office, right?
He was president at the time.
Yes.
When he made this call.
I want them half an inch larger in the waist than they were before, except I want 2 or 3 inches of stuff left back in there so I can take them up. I vary 10 to 15 pounds a month, so leave me at least 2.5 to 3 inches in the back where I can let them out or take them up, and make these a half inch bigger in the waist, make the pockets at least an inch longer. My money and my knife and everything fall out. Well, just the pockets, when you sit down in the chair, the knife and your money comes out, so I needed at least another inch in the pockets. Now, another thing, the crotch down where your nuts hang is always a little too tight. So when you make them up, give me an inch that I can let out there, because they cut me. They're just like riding a wire fence. These are the best that I've had anywhere in the United States. But when I gain a little weight, they cut me under there. So leave me. You never do have much margin there. Let's see if you can't leave me about an inch from where the zipper ends, round under back to my bunghole, so I can let it out there if I need to.
That was a president of the United States.
That's a good old boy president.
Oh,
he's a Texan, right?
Yeah, a Texan who carried a knife.
Yeah.
But and that's why you have the Johnson Space Center is in Texas, where the astronauts do their training, because he was, he was Kennedy's VP, and then after the assassination of President Kennedy, ascended to the presidency, won one term. But one of the biggest announcements was in 1968 when he said he would not seek re-election.
That's right.
Yeah.
Was that a Vietnam War thing for him?
Yeah,
it was.
It was. Yeah.
And he also was big with civil rights as well, right? He was a major purveyor of civil rights.
So, and it was because Kennedy started that ball rolling.
Yeah. And he hated Kennedy, which was weird.
But he actually crossed the finish line with it. And you also had a lot of that goodwill for the presidency because of our last assassinated president. Matter of fact, Kennedy's approval rating, I think, rose like 19 points since his presidency. They talk about, I was just reading yesterday about how some presidents, after they're out of office, usually it rises a little. A couple it sunk, like Nixon's actually sunk after, because the Watergate scandal, that just perpetuated, and his legacy was not so much. Barack Obama's rose 15%. Donald Trump's actually went up 5% for handling of the economy.
How did Clinton do? Because, a lot of that stuff...
His went up 3%.
It went up?
It
really?
did. It went up 3%.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because I would say outside of Trump, Clinton probably had the most baggage of MD presidents in the last 40 years.
But also a great economy from 92 to 2000.
Balance the budget.
And balance the budget, and the economy and the stock market was soaring.
But he was also the one that deregulated our business and deregulated the there was something else that was a major play for him as well.
Sure. With mortgages, there was blame to go everywhere. Democrats and Republicans from the 90s into the 2000s until we saw that whole crash in 08.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Trump went on trial today. They were just picking jurors today. And I know that Ray Trendley found the 42 questions questionnaire that they were giving prospective jurors that he thought was very interesting. A lawyer thought some of those questions were very interesting. We'll talk about that a little bit later with him at 6:20. Plus, there's an update on the case from last week. Do you guys remember the case from last week?
Sex toys.
Fleshlight.
Oh, that's right.
Remember the Fleshlight thing? Well, apparently there's an update to that story. So we'll get that a little bit later from our buddy Ray Trendley from TK Law. 407-916-1041. That's how you call us. You know what's so funny? How do you guys mark your age? And not by year, but when it comes to like your surroundings.
Like it's your kid. For me, it's always been my kids.
Okay, your kids.
Everything else felt pretty static.
Okay.
Unfortunately, whether it's how I feel, but the house, the job, all of that felt pretty much the same. But when you realize when I started here, as an intern, I didn't have any kids,
right? And
now they're 20 and 25, and my stepdaughter's even older.
When you look back and reflect, like as you came up from as from the first time that you remember kind of remembering things, things around you, the culture, stores that you would see. Do you guys ever mark that? Do you do that, Deborah? Do you mark that with like, I remember this time of my year this time of my life because I was always looking at the Sears and Montgomery Ward catalogs or JCPenney's because it was Christmas time and you'd always look through the catalogs, which would have been the internet at the time.
Yeah.
And the Amazon at the time. Do you ever do that? Do you ever mark your years by those times that you saw certain things, or like you just hang out in the malls all the time?
Yeah. Well, I can say that like the sound of football. Just, a game on in the background will take me right back to that split ranch, in Green Bay.
Oh, right.
Where my dad and my brother would be watching the game. My mom is in the kitchen baking.
Yeah.
And that's what the sound of football.
For me, it's like malls, because I spent a lot of my childhood going and hanging out at malls and stuff. And one of the reasons I bring this up is this. And we're seeing this over and over. And eventually this is going to be the case. Malls will eventually be gone. I mean, it'll be.
Whoa.
Look, what will happen is this. You'll have one or two that have high-level stores like your Mall and Millennia. That thing ain't going nowhere. It's packed 24/7. I don't think they have one vacancy in that entire building. Every single space is taken. It's been that way since they opened the damn thing, which is a far cry from any other mall with the exception of the Florida Mall in the entire area. Altamont's dead. That West Oaks thing is dead. The thing in Sanford is dead. The one in Oviedo's dead. They're all dead. They're just waiting for somebody to come in and finally put the bullet in their head to put them out of their misery. It's exactly what's happening,
Hot
except
take.
for that.
Hot take.
It's not a hot take. I mean, they're going to turn them into old folks' homes or whatever the case may be. But one of the stories is this. Like, for me, those retailers that are in there, because we talk about this occasionally. Like, of course, I'm in my mid-50s. Deb, you're like, what, 39?
Oh, good job, Jimmy.
Jack is also in his mid-50s. So we remember the days when you would go to the mall and there'd be a Radio Shack and a Wonder Garden.
And a Spencer's.
Yeah, Spencer's. And like that was the place to be. You would wait in line to get into a space. Well, there's a retailer from the 90s that has been a mainstay. And for me, and I don't know why, but this one hit me a little oddly. And again, I don't know why, because I could never fit in anything they sold. But another one of these retailers looks like they're about to bite the dust, along with many, many other mall retailers that we've seen, from the toy stores, KB Toys, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Those guys are gone. Radio Shack has been gone for years.
Spencer Gifts, tell me they're still around.
Well, I think Spencer's is still around.
Yeah.
But a lot of these stores and retailers that made their lives by being in mall spaces just can't survive in the online space because their entire business plan has been retail. Walk up, buy their stuff, and move on. That we're not able to transfer that into the online business.
Is it Hot Topic, Jimmy?
It's not Hot Topic. I think they're already done, aren't they?
Abercrombie?
It's not Abercrombie, but you're getting close.
Oh, Area Postal.
It's not Aeropostale.
Forever 21?
It's not Forever 21.
What's it? There's another A one.
No,
A&J.
it's not the A one.
Okay.
It's the one that I would always go into and be like, hey, that looks kind of cool. And I would try it on. I'm like, this is not built for me.
J. Crew?
No. Express.
No.
It looks like Express is on the ropes, Deb. It looks like Express may be done. They're not doing well. And for me, I'm not a 90s kid, I'm an 80s kid. But the first time I was really inundated with the mall lifestyles when I moved to Orlando in the late 80s or mid to late 80s, and then spent a lot of time there.
I shopped almost exclusively at Express.
You just used to see Express. And this is the funny thing about Express. I knew I was doing well on my diet when I could fit into their 38s. Because they were slim cut. Everything was like cut the way it's supposed to be cut. So even if you were a 38 or you thought you were, like, let's say, if you were a Levi's 38,
right,
and you tried on an Express 38, let me tell you, that Express 38 is like a 34 in Levi's. And I remembered being able to get into an express pair of pants once, and I was elated. I was like, look at me, I'm so skinny. I can fit into express clothes. Then they started expanding it to bigger dudes. And I was like, oh, they're going out of business.
Oh.
Because they did not want my fat ass in there. I'm not built for that. Every time I'd walk in, they're like, oh, you buying for your son? I'm like, no, ass wipe. I'm not. I'm buying for me. Now, wear the skinny jeans and the tight shirts.
They're a little less selective now.
Exactly.
In their clientele. People coming in hot. Texting service say you are wrong about the Altamont Mall.
Yeah.
Saying they still do a pretty good business.
It's packed on the weekends.
You don't know. You don't know.
I do know, and I'll tell you why I know.
Tell me how you know.
Because I was just in there recently getting the watch fixed.
Yeah.
They had to take a link out of my watch that I got for Christmas. And can I tell you something?
What?
I could throw about 10 grenades in there. Guess who gets hurt?
Yeah.
Nobody.
When did you go? Monday at 8 a.m.?
No, it was like a Wednesday at like 12 o'clock.
Noon?
Yeah. It
Lunchtime?
Was, nobody there, buddy. And on the weekends, there's nobody there. You know why? Because I got that stupid popcorn machine in the Altamont Mall. It's the worst. Ruined the entire mall. Not to mention the malls are just old. There's no money to build them back up again because nobody wants to go to them. And the crazy thing is I don't understand it. Why would you choose to have to walk out of a store in the hot ass heat to walk into another store down the street and possibly be in the rain when you could have been in a mall? I don't get it. Is it just the face value of seeing the storefront? Because it doesn't make any sense, right? It doesn't make any sense that Waterford is successful, but malls is not. You're outside. With a mall, you go in, everything's inside. No weather, no rain to worry about. But if you go to Waterford, you have to leave, and none of these places have canopies.
I think as a people, we don't like to walk.
Why is that? Well,
I think you want your car as close to where your destination is possible.
That can't be the answer. There's no way that's the answer to that. Because even in a mall, you park on one side of the mall. You got to mark where you go in. I'd always go in at Walden Books.
Yes,
I don't know why. I would always go in a Walden
I would never
Books.
go in a mall entrance. I would always go in a department store entrance and then work my way in.
That's right, because it's so much easier to find your way out. So I would go into the bookstore, and I would walk through because you smell the good coffee and it put me in a good mood.
Not only that, bookstores themselves smell good. Books
they
smell
do.
good.
Yeah.
Books and coffee. Let's go.
And I want to be noticed in a bookstore. Like, oh, that guy's in there buying books.
I don't think I've
You
ever
must be
bought.
smart.
I don't think I've ever bought a thing in a bookstore, but I like being
No
there.
way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I love sitting down and reading.
No, I look at the price and I go online and order it.
Well, you used to be able to get the nudies in there. They had them in the magazine rack just because they expected you to be an adult about it.
Right.
That was a bad call on their part. Because I'm going to tell you, every one of those things was ganked. But yeah, they used to carry like Penthouse and Playboy.
Whoa!
But it was up in the very top part, so you couldn't see it if you're a kid. It was buried up there. And then after a while, they just started wrapping them in plastic because
right?
Oh
yeah. Ugh.
And then the photography books. A lot of people would go in those things, and I would walk out. And I was like, "Where is everybody?" And you go to the photography section, and it'd be loaded with teenage boys. I'm like, "What's going on?" Oh, I know, because these photography books were like nudes in there. So there's teenage boys in there checking out boobs.
Now they just go online.
Yeah, now I don't have to do any of that. But yeah, the mall thing is, I never understood. I was like, why is Waterford popular when you have to walk out into the heat or rain to go to the next store when if you were in the mall, none of that existed? It doesn't make any sense.
See, texters are saying everything's overpriced at the mall because the rent for the stores is ridiculous.
I see.
Now, however, if you have a failing mall and they lower rent, then you don't have the anchors that draw enough people to walk by your store.
But
at least if you're a freestanding store, you have that traffic driving by.
Yeah, but listen, man, if you're at Altamont Mall, you've been open 40 years. You're telling me that thing's not been paid for a couple times over? 40 years? I mean, what do you think it cost to build a mall in the 80s?
Yeah.
I mean, what, $10 million to build a mall like that in the 80s? $20 million? You pay that off in 4 years.
But it's what they charge for rent to the vendors if they can afford a store there.
But what I'm saying is, even if you're only paying the lease for the land and you've paid the building off, like how much money do you have to make it work? I mean, in other words, you could do upgrades. It seems like to me you could. I mean, I know those things are expensive to maintain and all. But the other thing, too, is the mall now doesn't have to pay for the air conditioning for the entire vendor. I know there's a piece going in there, but from what I understand, like the new thing, like if you have one of those Five Below stores or whatever, all of the bills are associated with your store. Like you pay that. In a mall, it's different because all the power and all of the AC come from a central area. So I don't know how that really works out. And there's no like food court when you go to like Waterford. There's food places everywhere for sure, but there's no food court where you just kind of walk in and be comfortable. This sounds dumb. Why am I mad about this?
I don't know.
Because nostalgia.
I think that's what it is.
You had malls were big in the 80s. That was a hangout.
That was the hangout, dude. God, I loved it so much.
Your hangouts are disappearing, reminding you of your own mortality, and that
maybe
you are
that's
just
go Bradshaw
days away from death.
Okay. That escalated quickly. I didn't expect it to go there. I'm gonna be honest with you. All right, 407. What would be the worst one? What is the death knell for the mall? What mall store never closes? Is it Claire's?
Claire's are still there. Well, I believe Spencer Gifts. I believe is still going.
Spencer's.
Like when they close the Spencer's, you know the mall game is done.
That's it.
The bookstore is still, and maybe adding coffee really was the thing that kept the bookstores alive.
Yeah.
But really, it's, at least for Oviedo, it's got to be the movie theater.
Yeah. The theater for sure for Oviedo.
Yeah.
But they still have their bookstore still open. It's been open forever.
Yeah.
And dude, let me tell you, that is the flea market of malls. I mean, there's a tire store in there.
Oh,
No,
wow.
I'm joking. There's not, but it's
okay.
funny. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Got a great prize for you. We'll tell you what that is next. Trivia's up right after this. Load them up.
Real radio is the news junkie.
Here we go again. They're taking hard-working American people, American men, and they're taking their job.
I think it's so weird that they would be able to make a human being without using eggs or sperm. Scientists
I feel the
working
same
on-
way about omelets.
The News Junkie. Weekdays at 11 on Real Radio 104.1.
This is three-time Pro Bowler LeVar Arrington. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Staples Stores.
Thanks to a refreshing regular season, Jalen Brunson led the Knicks to the #2 seed in the East. After Julius Randle went down, things could have went south quickly in the Big Apple. Instead, Brunson got better and became the superstar New York needed, like Jeter, Judge, Manning. Brunson embraced New York, grew with New York, and now he's ready to take the Knicks on a deep postseason run. I'm Colin Cowherd.
Staples can print anything you need to move your business forward, like banners, flyers, signs, and catalogs, some even same day. And now at Staples, save $50 on your print purchase of $150 or more. Offer N61. Visit staples.com/print for details. Staples, your local print and marketing expert.
Breathe easy this spring with Renewal by Anderson's energy-efficient windows indoors. Improved indoor air quality is just one great benefit. Renewal by Anderson's beautiful designs with a variety of color options, hardware, and more bumps up your home's curb appeal, too. Renewal by Anderson has the most 5-star reviews, and their products are backed by some of the strongest warranties you will find anywhere. They're even transferable if you sell your home. During their 30-day spring sale, you can save $325 on every window and $825 on all patio doors, plus no money down, no payments, and 0% interest for 12 months. Visit rbafla.com for details. Expires April 30th. Some restrictions apply. And if you're looking for a new career, Renewal by Anderson is now hiring experienced window and door installers with general and trim carpentry experience. Official partner of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, license number CGC 1527613.
You got a service dog? Actually, he's a deals dog. Since I'm looking for a new car, I trained him to sniff out awesome rates, member discounts, and fast decisions. Cool, huh?
But you know Navy Federal Credit Union has all those things, right?
You're right. He's got the scent. Oh, wait. Nope. That's just the bacon in my pocket.
Apply for a Navy Federal Credit Union auto loan online, at a branch, or on our mobile app. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Message and data rates may apply. Visit NavyFederal.org for more information.
At Mayo Clinic in Florida, we are predicting the unpredictable. Our experts are using a patient's own anatomy to create 3D printed, life-size organ models to map out challenges ahead of time, making complex surgeries more precise, efficient, and less invasive. We are making more possible at Mayo Clinic because every day we're doing what's never been done. Learn more at mayoclinic.org/possible. Mayo Clinic, you know where to go.
Did you know your life insurance is an asset you can sell? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. For almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. And at abacuspays.com, we've created a free policy value calculator so you can find out the worth of your policy in just seconds. There are no fees and no obligations. Get real value from your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Learn more at abacuspays.com.
Here's a top move for hiring a divorce attorney. See how they look and handle themselves on video or audio. Chances are that's them at their best, with editing, setup, and multiple takes. The courtroom is live. Mediation is live. Make sure your divorce lawyer is going to make you look good. At Trendley Kramer Law, we handle family law and divorce. TK Law, one firm for life.
With 3 generations and over 45 years of Florida experience, Handyman Roofing knows storms and hurricanes. We know how to evaluate storm-damaged roofs and not cause more damage. Handyman Roofing has the expertise to get your roof done. Plus, easy financing in case your insurance company is dragging its feet. With multiple emergency response teams ready, Handyman Roofing will be by your side now when you need it the most.
Knows how to get things done. Count on Handyman Roofing to get it done.
When you get nachos, tacos, empanadas, spicy queso with jalapenos, Pepto-Bismol's there. Pepto-Bismol provides fast, effective relief from nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, and diarrhea. All the things that can happen unexpectedly on vacation. So before you travel, pack the Pepto. Pepto-Bismol.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Victim of a slip and fall? It takes one phone call to take back control of your life. Anajar and Levine will fight to get you the compensation you deserve. Call me, Mark Anajar, for a free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In Office Orlando. Frank Gay has something cool for you. Keep your AC running smoothly with a tune-up for only $89 for a limited time. Friendly, speedy, and expert service. That's the Frank Gay way. Visit frankgayservices.com or call for details.
They're modern-day con artists, and they're the focus of Creating a Con, a true crime anthology podcast. Season 1 spotlights Ray Trendley and his tech startup scam, endorsed by DJ Khaled and Floyd Mayweather, and built on empty promises and millions from bilked investors.
If someone's like, oh, what's your best way of making money? I don't think start a business. I'm like, oh, we should start some sort of scheme, and I can't help it.
Listen to Creating a Con on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Creating a Con.
You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show, also available to watch. At The Jim Colbert Show on YouTube.
Hey, Jimmy, it's me, your butt tag. I just want to let you know that I appreciate the new fragrance you've been using, but it does tend to sting a bit, so if you don't mind, let's switch it back to the other stuff. And do me a favor, switch up the frequency a little bit, too, maybe twice a day, because after 3 p.m., it does tend to smell like an old potato down here.
Okay, buddy. That made Jack laugh very hard.
Yes, it did.
Old potato. That's what my wife calls me. Hey, old tater.
Old tater.
Hey, old tater, fix that leaking sink.
Oh, our listeners are so great.
Yeah, they're good. 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Don't forget your 5 o'clock keyword. You got about 8 minutes left to be able to get that money. It is money, actually, MONEY. Go to realradio.fm and send that off for your chance at $1,000. And remember, if you're playing the game, keep your phone near it, keep it on. That is how they tell you you've won. Money is your 5 o'clock keyword. Good luck. I am Jim. There's Deb.
Hello.
And Jack has the Jackie sack. What do we got, Jackson?
All aboard.
Chugga chugga.
Choo choo.
Clickety clack, clickety clack.
Oh boy, this is one of those win them before you can buy them scenarios. You like those?
I like them a lot, buddy.
Yeah, I'm a big fan as well. But it's going to be a pair of tickets to see comedian Louis Black at the Hard Rock Live.
Nice.
Now, he's coming December 7th. However, tickets actually go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. So you win them this week, you're winning them before you can buy them, which is a beautiful thing.
It is.
And we're doing that all week long. Louis Black at the Hard Rock Live. Seen him there before. Fantastic show. And I hope to go again this time back in December.
He's my anger mentor.
Is he?
Yeah, he is. He's my anger mentor.
Yeah.
Because he gets mad a lot. I love it.
And the Jackie Sack is always brought to you by Cento Family Moving and Storage. Got a move coming up? Call them. They can handle it. Right, Jimmy?
Yes.
Local, long distance, residential, or commercial doesn't matter, but it does matter if you mention the Jim Colbert Show because that's going to get you a discount. Book them today at centomoving.com. That's CENTO. Moving.com. Butt tag, back to you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Stop saying that, by the way. God almighty.
What, butt tag?
Stop saying it.
Why?
Because people
like
are going to
butt
think
tag?
it's something else.
That you have a butt tag.
No, it's. I have a skin tag.
On your butt.
I hate that you're right. Jack, who goes first?
Oh, let's see. That is going to be Jay.
Jay right there up top. Jay, how you doing, friend?
Doing all right. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, buddy. Would you like to play a little game with us?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
Do you want to play a game?
All right, Jay, this is pretty easy, boss. I got a question here for you. 4 answers. One of these answers is a lie. I'm trying to deceive you, friend. If you can win, you will go to see Lewis Black in December at Hard Rock Live. A very funny guy. I've seen him twice myself. Super funny. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Here we go, buddy. It's National Laundry Day.
No.
I don't know if you know that. That's right. Here are 3 fun facts about your laundry and one cheesy lie that stayed in the washer too long. Number 1. A shortage of fat to make soap during World War I led to the invention of synthetic laundry detergent. Number 2. After wearing their underwear for a week at a time in space, astronauts jettison them into space to burn up.
Oh,
Number 3. In dream interpretation, someone else doing your laundry means you miss them or you want to see them.
Huh.
Or lastly, in the 60s, college students would mail laundry home to be washed because there were no campus washing machines. Which one of those is a lie?
I'm going to go with the last one, Jim.
No, that's true, dude. That's true. In the 1960s, there were no washing machines on campus, so it'd be easier and cheaper for students to actually send their laundry home, have their parents wash it, then send it back to them.
Whoa.
That's a true story.
That is crazy.
Who is next, Jackson?
That would be Craig.
We'll go Craig on line 3 here. Craig, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Doing good, buddy. It's National Laundry Day. Here's some facts about your laundry. Which one of these is untrue? Number 1, a shortage of fat to make soap during World War I led to the invention of synthetic laundry detergent. Number 2, after wearing their underwear for a week at a time in space, astronauts would jettison them into space to burn up. Or lastly, in dream interpretation, someone else doing your laundry means you miss them or you want to see them.
Go with number 2.
No, that's true, buddy. The astronauts send them out into space to burn up, and they do wear them about a week at a time.
Damn.
Yeah. Depending on the diet. If you stop at that Taco Bell next to Mars.
Right.
He has a 50-50 shot. His name is Howard.
Howard right there on line 4. Howard, how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
All right, buddy. Like Jack said, you have a 50-50 shot. We're talking about laundry. Which one of these is a lie? Number 1, a shortage of fat to make soap during World War I led to the invention of synthetic laundry detergent. Or, in dream interpretation, someone else doing your laundry means you miss them or you want to see them.
The dreaming one, for sure.
That's the answer, buddy. You got it right. Hey, now I want to ask you a question before we get out of here for a little extra points that mean nothing.
Okay.
What do you think that actually does mean? If you dream that someone else is doing your laundry, what does that mean?
Something negative. Will be a negative thought.
How about this? You ready? It means that it means you've been gossiping.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's what it means. I'm going to put you on hold. You're a winner there, Howard. Good job. Yeah, it says if you dream about doing laundry or someone doing your laundry, it means that you've been gossiping.
Oh, and you feel like guilty about it?
I guess,
All
man. I
right.
don't know. And then
trying to wash clean.
Do you feel guilty when you gossip?
No,
you do it all the time.
I do. I love to gossip. There's nothing wrong with it. That is true, though. The shortage of fat to make soap during World War I made them come up with something that was synthetic, so you can wash your detergent, right? And then a couple other things you may not know about laundry before we get to the top of the hour.
Stop talking about what I have to do when I get home.
Right. 70% of the dirt on your clothes is
skin.
Invisible.
Oh.
In the form of dead human skin cells, sweat, body oils, and believe it or not, the residue from soap and shampoo that you use.
Really?
Because that residue stays on your skin, and as you take your clothes on and off, your clothes will microscopically get that on there. So they say that when you weigh it before and after, it'll weigh a lot more. And a lot of people think that's just sweat. It's not at all. It's a lot more crazy, ucky stuff. I said ucky.
Oh, crazy ucky.
Yeah. Fragrance sensitivity is on the rise. What percentage of Americans have a detergent sensitivity? In other words, allergic to it. Maybe it causes a rash.
30%.
25.
Jack almost nailed it. 31%. Give yourself a ding. A ding.
Yeah, I know how the game works, Jimmy.
A ding.
I know how it works.
And then lastly here.
Oh, did I hit it twice?
The average family does how many loads of laundry per week?
Oh.
7.
Oh. 8.
8 to 10 is the answer.
Yay.
Yeah, you already went it. There you go. All right, 407 916 1041.
Deserved a dong, but okay.
All right.
It was a range.
Do you think venting helps you when you're angry? Do you think when you get mad,
yes,
and you
I
just,
do.
Like, I will tell you, for me, if you're in my house when I'm angry, it's going to be horrifying because I walk around my house yelling what I'm mad about out as if I'm yelling it at whatever I'm mad about. Person, thing, place, situation, whatever the case may be. Do you believe it's healthy?
I don't believe it's healthy, but I do it.
Okay, I will tell you if it is or not. When we get back,
you tease.
Because I do it. Do you do this a lot? Do you vent a lot to yourself?
And I don't think my wife likes it.
How do you do it? No, I tell you what. You stay right there because we'll talk about this when we come back.
So who's gonna vent?
Your chance to win $1,000 in your hand is minutes away on Real Radio 104.1. Brought to you by Mills Air.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Still looking at heavy traffic on I-4 this afternoon due to an earlier crash that was reported westbound at Maitland Boulevard. Normal afternoon slowdowns reported through downtown and by the major attractions exits. Looking at a serious crash that has closed all southbound lanes on Apopka Vineland Road at Poinciana Boulevard, causing heavy backups on both roadways. If you see traffic problems, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Positive Coaching Alliance.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
Now, when it comes to your bathrooms, you want them to look nice, especially when those special times come up, whether it be birthdays, anniversaries, whatever the case may be. You want to have people over to your house to celebrate, but unfortunately, that guest bathroom is a complete mess. It's so embarrassing. You can never do that. Let's get rid of that idea and that mentality. Let's get with Rebath in Mid-Florida and replace or remodel that bathroom you hate and have hated for so long. And guys, can I tell you, this is way easier than you think. And even better, you're going to get quality products and incredible craftsmanship. And if you tell them the Jim Colbert Show sent you over, $800 worth of upgrade. You can apply that however you want. Upgrade that bathroom to the next level. They can do that for you. Hop online and look at the before and afters they've done for people right here in Orlando, including our buddy Daryl Payne from Paw Affection Dog Training. Amazing stuff, guys. Incredible products, including natural stone like travertine and marble, and a great design team to come up with ideas to help you match your bathroom to the rest of your house. Remember, don't forget, tell them the Jim Colbert Show sent you. $800 in upgrades. Easy to find. 436 in Altamont, right across from Kobe. Find them online and make your appointment today at rebathmidfla.com.
The countdown to the Paris Olympics is on. Hi, everybody. It's Savannah Guthrie.
I'm Hoda Kotb from the Today Show. We are so excited to kick off our celebration.
Yeah, this week, before the world gathers in the City of Light, today is bringing its magic of Paris to the plaza.
And Wednesday, it's just 100 days to go. Team USA hopefuls and champions will be taking over all morning for a huge party.
It's going to be epic, so join us this week on NBC.
Because today is where the games begin.
Tommy Mello here, owner of A1 Garage Door Service. Springtime savings are here, and now is the perfect time to service your garage. Don't wait until a simple garage door repair becomes a major problem. We fix garage doors fast and with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. Replacing the bottom rubber on your garage door can have a huge impact on the number of bugs you see in your garage and in your home. Call A1 Garage today and receive the best service, best parts, and best warranty in the industry.
A1 from day one.
In this week's Marketers Report, Chris Brandt, Chief Marketing Officer at Chipotle Mexican Grill, weighs in on the power of audio.
We've used audio to reinforce what we're showing on TV, what we're showing in other digital channels. When your priority is driving reach, boy, everybody seems to listen to the radio.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, conversations, trusted influencers, insights, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Nowadays, it seems like wherever I go, there's a vacuum emptying out my purse. I go to get gas. I go to buy groceries. I go to the coffee shop. But then, the strangest thing happened. I went to McDonald's for breakfast, and all I heard was, You see, McDonald's has a deal where I can choose any two for just $2.79. I can choose from a sausage McMuffin, a sausage biscuit, a sausage burrito, hash browns, or a small hot coffee. I chose a sausage burrito with fluffy scrambled egg, pork sausage, melty cheese, green chilies, and onion. And I paired it with crispy hash browns, all for just $2.79. It's such a good deal. I'm using the money I saved to get my car clean. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Single item at regular price.
It's 3 days of extraordinary store-wide savings at International Diamond Center. This Friday through Sunday. Get extra savings across the board. Up to 20% off. Rings, bands, earrings. Thousands of engagement ring mountings. This weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Only at International Diamond Center.
Don't let spring allergies make you miserable. Try the quick, drug-free solution trusted by over 4 million people. Navage. Only Navage uses suction to flush out your sinuses using refreshing saline, helping you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. And here's even better news. Navage is now available at your local Sam's Club in a great new value pack. It's everything you need to start breathing better immediately at Sam's guaranteed best price. Navage. Navage. Breathe easy.
Another happy Safelite customer.
Safelite repair, Safelite replace.
There I was driving down the highway when out of nowhere, a rock hits my windshield. So annoying. But then I remembered Safelite repair, Safelite replace. I booked my appointment at Safelite.com. And with my insurance, my new windshield was no cost to me. Safelite even handled my insurance claim, which was the best.
Cracked windshield? Just go to Safelite.com and let Safelite take care of everything.
Safelite repair, Safelite replace.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because your case matters. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. WIN. W-I-N. WIN. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
We now return to the Jim Colbert Show.
Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1. Your 6 o'clock keyword is WIN, W-I-N. Get over to realradio.fm and send that away for your chance at $1,000, guys. WIN is your keyword. Remember, if you're playing the game, keep your phone near and keep it turned on.
Put that ringer on.
That's right. Welcome back. I am Jim. Deb and Jack are here as well. All right, saw this story on the BBC, which I love reading. It's a very interesting and diverse website. If you haven't checked that out, add that to your repertoire of reading online. Some cool stuff. And people just think it's just about Britain, though. It's just about England and the UK. Now, it's a world website. It's a world organization.
World news website.
Yeah. And it's really good. Good for interesting stories. Do a lot of science stuff, which is one of the reasons I like it. A lot of different studies. This was one of those. The story was, does venting help when you're angry? Now, I do this often, and I do it by talking to myself. That's how I vent, is I yell out what I would want to say to somebody at the risk of not hurting their feelings or anything like that, because I am not a malicious human being. I don't want anybody to be angry with me, and I don't want to cause any anger or strife with anyone, but I do get very frustrated at people or at things that don't move as quickly or as concisely as I do. And I'm not saying I do this all the time, but I expect a certain outcome when it doesn't work like that, especially when it's supposed to. I can get very irritated. It's a bad habit of mine and a bit of a bad personality trait. You'll never see it. Nobody that's listening to me will ever see it. This is almost entirely in the confines of my truck or my home.
I've seen it.
Where I will vent these things out. I will yell at myself or yell at something just to picture it being there so I can get it out of my system and move on. Jack, how do you vent?
Like it comes out in the curse. Like I'll be mad at I'll do something and and I'll curse, and then my wife and I, we were driving. I forget, we were going somewhere. She was driving and she like froze up. I'm like, it's all right. I'm not really mad, but she's
Right.
for her it's startling.
Yeah, and that's hard to explain because I'm not mad either.
Right. Right.
I'm just trying to get that. I'm just trying to get. I said anger.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get that feeling out so I don't have that inside.
And I'll call myself. I'm like, oh, you dummy, and then she'll start defending me to me.
Right.
And I'm like, nah, I'm okay, really.
Let me be dumb here for a second.
Yeah. And I don't really think I'm a dummy.
How do you vent? You're the interesting one because I don't see you really lose control very often. You have to get pretty mad, but when you snap, you can go there.
Oh,
Yeah.
And I'm like you. I have to get it out.
So what do?
I talk to myself.
You do the same thing I do?
Yep.
You imagine the thing in front of you or whatever, and you just let it have it with both barrels?
Just, go into another room.
Yeah.
Keep my voice low.
For the sake of saving for the sake of saving their feelings and the sake of doing that, why do you do that instead of just take on what you have head on?
Because by venting that way, it allows me to say all the things that I wouldn't want to say.
Same thing.
Because you cannot take those words back.
You cannot. And I agree with that 100%.
And they sting and they wound, and that's why they belong, in a room by myself.
Right, exactly. To me, right? Well, just out of curiosity, and just to reaffirm what we said last break, do you believe that's good? According to this study, by the way, 154 countries and cultures were considered in this study about how they vent or how they deal with anger.
And I don't think it's good for you because if you notice after you're done, you don't necessarily feel any better.
Jack, and you say it's different?
I believe so. I believe you have that inside, and Dwight Bain, psychologist on The Monsters, often has that saying, you either talk it out or you act it out.
Right.
I believe that's a way of talking it out, of releasing some of that pent-up aggression.
Right.
Or
Yeah.
Well, this story does not agree with that.
Yeah, screw you.
This story says that it is not good for you. That actually in almost every single person from every country and different culture that they talked to that did this, that used venting as an anger, not supplement, but an anger
release,
that it actually makes you more angry.
See?
And can make you more aggressive because what you're doing by yelling like that is you're actually hyping yourself up to get more angry about it. You're bringing more attention.
What do you know? And when'd you get this crap?
You're bringing more attention to the thing that's made you angry, right?
Yeah.
Now, I don't feel that. I actually do feel a little bit better about it when I get it done, but maybe I'm just looking at it incorrectly. I'll give you a couple guesses. What do you think they say you should do if you get angry and you need to vent? One of them is going to blow you away. One of them shouldn't be that complicated.
Laugh.
No.
Cry.
I'm not saying that those won't work, but that's not what they said. Jack does this.
Pout.
Pick at your arms?
What, Jack? Pout? Pick at your arms? No. Have 100 sisters? No. Be cheap AF? No. It's none of those things.
Compartmentalize.
It's not compartmentalized, but Bradshaw does that more than anywhere. His head is a mall.
It is.
With emotional stores everywhere. Jack, you do this. You're the only person on the show I know that used to practice that. I think Ross did
Meditate.
This. Meditate's the answer.
Wow.
So what they say is meditate, go to a silent room or a silent area, sit down, close your eyes, and take 10 deep, slow breaths, simply concentrating on the air going in your nose and out your mouth.
Yeah.
1. You do that 10 times, and they say that helps. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Yoga, things like that. That helps. Meditation, things that you concentrate on where it's built for you and your inner peace. What do you think the other one is? This one's the fun one.
Sex.
And by the way, sex is not the answer. This could be a
solo sex.
This is not the answer either. This is also something that I did. I think Jack did a little of this.
Golf?
Well,
exercise.
I'm going to give it to you. Believe it or not, you ready? It's ball sports. Ball sports specifically, they say that you should play pickup basketball, tennis, kickball, anything where you're focusing on a single goal. In golf, I'm trying to hit this ball to that target. In tennis, I'm trying to just return it over the net. In basketball, I'm trying to dribble it in a bunch of times in a row and then maybe shoot it and make it. Not even make it. It doesn't matter. What they say is playing a ball sport, soccer, whatever it may be, leads you to concentrate on the goal at hand. In other words, whatever the goal is, if it's to pass the soccer ball to a buddy or to kick a goal or to throw a football to a friend that's running away from you or whatever, that when you do those things, that it's able to quell the anger because you're not thinking about it. You're focusing on a singular thing, and ball sports seem to be those things that really help out. How crazy is that? I'd have never thought that. But, and I tell parents this all the time. I think one of the most important things you can do for your children is to get them into organized sports. I will live and die by that. I think one of the singular best things you can do for your children, if you're a parent out there and your kid's 7, 8, 9 years or whatever, get them into some sport. Find them something they like. Tennis, golf, baseball, soccer, wrestling, polo, swimming, whatever it may be, and get them involved with that. It has a magical effect on your children. Who they hang out with, usually those people are not losers. What they do, you're required to have certain grades to play sports in high school and in school. You have to maintain a GPA that does that. It institutes that kind of want, because when they fall in love with the sport, they'll do anything to play it at that level. I think that's killer. Now, again, that has nothing to do with my anger. And I've never thought one time to go out and shoot a basketball, but there are many times when I've gotten stressed out, when I've went to the range or I've gone to the range and I go to the very far end and I get some music going and I set the biggest basket of golf balls they'll let me buy, and I'll sit down there for an hour and a half and just hit golf balls. It's the greatest thing in the world for me.
And it's about redirecting your attention.
Yes.
You're not focusing on what makes you mad. It gives you something else to draw your focus, where a meditation is somewhat the opposite. The idea is you focus on your breath, so all other ideas you just dismiss.
Right.
And you kind of try to make yourself a witness to an idea comes in your head, and then you let it sail by. But and that's why the focus is always just on breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. And then you let any thought that comes in quickly fly right out.
The funny thing about meditation is I always wondered how it ends. Like I know how to start, right? I know how to sit in a room and be quiet. But how do you go? That last breath is like, okay, let's go to take out the trash. What is that? Like when you just come to an end, you just slowly open your eyes
and acquaint yourself to your surroundings again. And it depends, because if you use you could just sit and meditate. You do not need anything else, right?
And meditation is just thinking about nothing.
You focus on your breath.
That's
it. Yes.
Sitting and thinking about your breathing.
Yeah. It can be something else. It can.
How does that make you money?
If you have a mantra, because it helps keep your sanity.
Hey, okay, I'm joking. Yeah.
But
I'm not crazy. It's fine.
If you have a guided meditation where you can listen to, there are plenty of apps that do it, and you can listen to a guided meditation. They could be talking you through the process, which is probably very helpful in the beginning until you kind of get the hang of it.
Yeah.
You could do it just nature sounds, but you can also just set a timer where it rings a bell every 5 minutes and 2 bells after 15, and then on 2 bells, you're done.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
So
I would think that the only way you could really enjoy this, though, would be something like you would keep a basketball with you. So because there's basketball courts everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, everywhere you can drive around and find a basketball court to shoot. I would think that if you had stress issues and you were going to turn to a ball sport of some sort to try to quell your anger or stress, basketball would probably be the best one, right? Because if you kept a basketball in your trunk and you felt like you're just kind of getting out of control, you could find a basketball court to pull over and just shoot some free throws.
Yeah, Deb, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, no. I'll pull into the basketball court, open my car door, and have a smoke.
I knew it. I knew it was going to be a cigarette.
Playing basketball.
I like to focus on nicotine.
Yeah, I'm just keeping it real.
You're a lost cause, Deborah.
And I don't think all ball sports work to calm your anger. If you're mad at your spouse and she's your pickleball partner, it could get rough out there.
It could really. And no one wants to take one to the ass over and over. Oh, hold on. What? All right, 407-916. The pickleball partner's playing front.
Oh.
And you could hit it purposely.
Ooh.
Into their butt.
Winter Springs just opened up their courts.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. There's like 8 courts out there now.
Get ready for your property value to drop from all that noise. Do you remember that?
Yeah, it's 3 miles away. I'm good.
You're fine.
You don't want that pickleball action with that skin tag back there.
Easy. That's what I play with. It's very impressive. All right, 407.
He has his own paddle.
He sure does. It's flesh colored.
916-1041. Ray Trendley up next from TK Law. Hang loose.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio. At 7, it's a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Brought to you by Gringos Locos and Modern Plumbing Industries. At 9 p.m., it's Real Laughs with comedians James, Miguel, Ken, and Mike. And Real Music starts tonight at 10 on Real Radio 104.1.
Slow traffic continues on I-4 this afternoon in the Orlando area, east and westbound between the Beach Line and 535, and between World Drive and the 429. Still seeing delays from the earlier disabled vehicle that's blocking the northbound center lane between the Turnpike exit and Landstar Boulevard. If you see traffic problems, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Cracker Barrel. It pays to be early because at Cracker Barrel, you can get early dinner deals weekdays from 4 to 6 p.m. That includes their signature meatloaf, home-style chicken, and more, starting at just $8.99. So make tonight an early dinner night.
Guys, here in Central Florida, it is absolutely vital. You heard us talking about the weather. You know what it's going to be this weekend, right? Saturday's supposed to be 94 degrees. 94 degrees here in April. Are you ready? Is your AC system ready for what is definitely going to be a hot and humid summer? Well, if not, the pros over at Mills Air are ready to take care of that with a preventive maintenance plan that is going to save you this summer. The last thing you want, guys, trust me, is it to be July and walk into your house and have it be 100 degrees and then have to wait because everybody else waited as well. Get with Mills Air right now. Take advantage of their 30-plus years of experience in Central Florida and make sure your AC is ready to go. Their preventive maintenance plan is basically like a tune-up for your AC. They go through it to make sure everything's fine, and they can do that for you right now. They're Carrier Factory authorized dealers, and that can get you up to $1,275 in rebates towards that brand-new Carrier unit. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier and certainly turn to Mills Air, family-owned and operated, and ready to help you right now. It's 407-277-1159. Find them online easily at millsair.com.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by Tools Ace Hardware.
Don't let spring allergies make you miserable. Try the quick, drug-free solution trusted by over 4 million people, Navage. Only Navage uses suction to flush out your sinuses using refreshing saline, helping you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. And here's even better news. Navage is now available at your local Sam's Club in a great new value pack. It's everything you need to start breathing better immediately at Sam's guaranteed best price. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Breathe easy.
Tommy Mello here, owner of A1 Garage Door Service. Springtime savings are here, and now is the perfect time to service your garage. Don't wait until a simple garage door repair becomes a major problem. If your garage door is noisy, if bugs are getting in, or if it struggles to open, your garage door is in need of repair. From simple repairs to upgrades, it's A1 from day one. We fix garage doors fast and with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. Our springs, rollers, and openers are tested by running them up and down, open and closed, all day, 24/7, so you can feel confident with every A1 garage door repair. Replacing the bottom rubber on your garage door can have a huge impact on the number of bugs you see in your garage and in your home. As the weather starts to warm up, keep those creepy crawlers outside by calling A1 Garage Door Service today and receive the best service, best parts, and best warranty in the industry.
A1Garage.com. A1 from day one.
Call today and take advantage of our $29.95 tune-up special.
Moments like hearing my cat purr good morning mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that is spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib. Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for adults with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
A picture is worth 1,000 words, but a video is priceless. I'm attorney Mo DeWitt, and we have access to every single traffic camera in the state of Florida. Injured on the go, just call Mo. Orlando's injury attorneys.
Are your energy costs through the roof? FAS Windows and Doors is now offering buy 3, get 1 free windows on any project. This is a plain and simple deal that homeowners can receive at the time of signing. FAS also offers 24-month financing. No money down, no payments, and no interest for 24 months with this new financing option available from FAS. For a completely free in-home consultation, call FAS Windows and Doors today or visit us online at faswd.com. That's faswd.com.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you to explore right now, like One Hit Wonders Radio. The greatest one-hit wonders of all time. Ones you definitely remember.
I smell sex and
And ones that'll make you say, oh yeah. Just open the free iHeartRadio app, search One Hit Wonders, and listen now, commercial-free. Free never sounded so good.
This hour of programming is brought to you by My Home Builders Network. Need new windows? Then you need Mike and his team at hbnusa.com.
We now return to the Jim Colbert Show.
I think venting anger for me has been the top priority as far as me not being as angry as I used to be, because I usually talk to somebody about it and I usually get a second opinion as to why I'm angry, and it calms me down so much. Plus, I figure all that anger is just going to be pushed down into a ball, and if you don't vent it, it's going to slowly turn into a form of butt cancer like old OJ. So either way, love the show. Love you guys. Have a good day.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. I am Jim. There's Deb.
Hello.
Jack is here as well. And every single Monday at 6:20, we invite this guy in. This guy.
That awesome guy.
He
With
runs
the cool jacket.
He runs TK Law.
Thanks.
OneFirmForLife.com. Their offices are right there in Altamont Springs. If you guys don't mind, good and loud for our friend, Mr. Ray Trendley.
Hey!
Woo! Hey, before we get going here, boss, on the legal stuff, now I hope this isn't a slam.
Oh boy!
I hope you don't take it this way, okay?
I feel slammed already
Because you and I are dogs, right? But I don't think this. You strike me as a guy who would need to vent anger in some way, and I don't mean that derogatorily.
Yeah.
You know, I feel that with your career and me knowing you a little bit, that maybe you could get irritated enough where you would need something to vent a little anger. Is that accurate?
Yeah, so I say I'm like a firecracker. I burn real hot and then I pop and then I'm done. Like I'm not one of those people that like harbors any ill will against anybody. I let it go quickly, but I get pretty hot pretty fast.
Just purge it. Once it's purged, it's gone.
Yeah.
What do you do to get rid of it? That's the point. Because what we're saying before we came in is, they did 154 nations and cultures or countries and cultures, and they talked about venting anger, and they found that it really doesn't help for you to yell or scream or get mad. It actually exacerbates. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Exacerbates that feeling. You actually get more angry and more worked up. Thank you, Jack. I appreciate that. I deserve it. I get those two mixed up all the time. And really the thing you should do is meditate, breathe, or play a ball sport. For some reason, ball sports, they said, really could calm you down if you're out of control and you feel you need to vent.
Anybody make any ball sport jokes?
Yeah, we make tons of ball sport jokes. You can move past those.
But, for me, I think meditation, there's a lot of specific skills you learn from meditation, breathing, and just being conscious and aware of your feelings and how you want to respond, and then controlling that. So I take a lot of those practices. I will say there's a rule in my office that you can go into my office and you can say whatever you want to me about whatever you want, and it stays there. If you want to yell, curse, scream about
another employee or a
whatever's
client,
going
whatever.
on, just listen. I work in a profession that's extremely frustrating.
Yeah.
And there's jokes out there that the judge is against your client, and the other side's against your client, and then the jury's against your client. So this is all adversarial, right? And you're trying to protect and promote this person. And so it gets really tough, and you get a lot of frustration. So there's a little bit of dark humor that you have to be in the law field. So I've got that rule. And then reciprocally, in my office, I've got that same rule with my office manager, that she and I know that I can sit down with her and I can be like, this case, this person, this whatever is really frustrating to me. And usually we do it over a glass of whiskey.
Oh, yeah, very nice.
By the time we're done with the glass, everything's all better.
I was irritated as a kid because I was wound. My dad used to say I was wound tighter than a $3 watch.
Okay.
I had what they call a beating tree in my yard because I lived on 10 acres land out in the middle of nowhere, and we had this oak tree. It wasn't even that big, and I had this old wooden baseball bat. And when I would get pissed off, I would just go out there and just absolutely beat the complete hell out of this tree. Now, this tree didn't take any beating at all. It was just barely marked. But I just felt that doing that allowed me to kind of vent that frustration.
The vibration in your arms, though.
Oh, I don't know.
That's a feeling you'll never forget.
I'd get pretty angry pretty quick, though.
Yeah.
Back in the day. So let's go back to what we were talking about last week. You told me you had an update before we get into some of this other stuff, because I know you want to talk about the questionnaire that's being offered to the potential Trump jurors in the hush money case going on right now in New York. But we were talking about the Fleshlight, which is it's the best-selling sex toy of all time.
Allegedly,
Allegedly, right? And now, what was the case? Refresh us on what the case was and then where we are now.
Yeah, so class action lawsuit filed out in California for misrepresentation, and the allegation was that the Fleshlight was supposed to provide you with additional stamina, make you better in bed. According to the lawsuit, this individual used it vigorously for several months, and neither the sex performance did not get better, nor did the stamina increase. And so I filed a lawsuit. So one of the questions that you asked me, and it was actually a really good question, and I don't think I gave you enough credit for it at the time, is the pills that you can find at the gas stations.
Right, yeah.
Where it promises you extra benefits.
Yeah.
And you said
harder, faster, stronger, louder.
Yeah, and sometimes longer. Sometimes, and so I really bugged me, and I was like, man, you know what? Like, this is not new. There's got to be something that I can pull. So I did some research, and I found a case. It's actually a really funny case out of South Carolina.
Okay.
And do you guys know the history of sex toys? Like, do you know how long we've had?
Oh, yeah. They've been around for a very long time.
Since
Late
the Stone
1800s?
Age.
Yeah.
Oh,
Stone
really?
Age.
Yes.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
And according to this lawsuit and the opinion I read, but and they talk about stone and then animal bone,
Yep.
And then horns and stuff. So get very creative. And then it goes all the way to the 1800s where they talked about being prescribed for mental health treatment.
Right. The Romans did marble, if I remember right.
Yep, there was
Smooth
marble.
Yeah.
Yep. And so anyway, that was an interesting aside. But these companies have relied on the idea that they market it as a novelty item. And because it's a novelty item, it's not regulated by the FDA.
In other words, this is a toy you shouldn't take it seriously.
That's right. So that's how these companies have been getting away with it. And so I started doing a lot of research, guys. And I'm telling you, hours of research.
I bet.
But I'm interested, though, because the way they sell it almost sounds like they want it to be like a medical device more than a sex device. It's almost how they sell it like that. Like these are medical terms they're using almost.
So there are some devices that have like a reciprocal benefit, if you will.
Okay, yeah.
So like incontinence, like there's some things that you could use for incontinence that also provide other stimulations. But so this lawsuit, so the interesting thing about this lawsuit is about it was one of those soft rubber
toys.
Yes.
And it was leaching toxic chemicals causing cancer. Right?
Okay.
That was the lawsuit. But so they talked about, some of the social stigma attached to filing a lawsuit. And this was like a 1980s case, so, a long time from even now. And they were talking about how a lot of people don't want to file these lawsuits because of the social stigma attached.
Sure.
But in this case, obviously, cancer is a pretty serious set of damages. So, here's my conclusion that I've drew for you guys is the damages are going to be nominal, right? Because you spend $120, $140 on this toy. I went on their website and they did have novelty toys, but it wasn't this toy. It was like alien.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Although I'll talk about the alien thing later.
We'll put that in the group chat.
Okay. Yeah.
But they don't market it as a novelty item. They market it simply as something that improves stamina and performance. And so I kind of came into this being a little critical of the guy in the lawsuit last time I was here. And I think it might have some legs, guys.
Really?
Okay, so it's interesting because we were talking about this last week. I remember leaving that day going, I don't know, man. I look, and I respect you greatly, and look, we all learn every day. But I remember this. I remember because we in this business have to be very careful about how we frame things. And the word that I would think would need to be in that verbiage would be the word can or could.
Sure.
Those are very important words. It can help improve stamina, can help improve performance.
Yeah.
Not will, not definitives,
right.
Maybes, because, that's why you hear a lot of this when you hear financial stuff, this doesn't represent every client or every,
Right.
In other words,
Right.
you're hearing about an anomaly. Not everything is going to give you this result.
Well, the other thing that, and this is a separate, actually, news article that I saw, they also talk about there's just not a lot of science behind these facts, right? Like what's performance.
Right.
And what's stamina, what's average, and what's all these things that, are rather arbitrary as descriptions. And so, I still think that there's a damages issue. I don't think that you're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars because you bought this thing that you used and presumably enjoyed.
Right.
But often, vigorously, according to the lawsuit.
But what they don't, that's so funny, is what they don't tell these poor people who buy these things thinking that they're going to use it every night is, by the way, this isn't a woman.
Yeah.
Like this doesn't smell like a woman. It doesn't act like a woman. It's not going to treat you like a woman. So where you think you've built up stamina, when you have a real encounter, buddy, this is going to be a completely different machine than you sitting in a room by yourself, doing this.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, it's interesting. I think there might be some legs to it. I'm not certain that there's going to be a ton of money here, but it might be enough to change the industry just a little bit.
Yeah, so what they would probably do is just change the verbiage on the packaging, right?
Probably.
Yeah. Just got to make it a little bit more
non-guaranteed outcome. Yeah. They say, well, we know some people it's worked for, but it may not work for everybody, and all those types of things. This product has not been evaluated by the FDA to improve your health or stamina or something. I don't know.
But it can. It may.
Sure.
It will, possibly. All those fun things. You have to say those
Logically,
things.
it may make sense, but who knows?
Well, we'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
So is it in trial right now, or is it?
No, they just filed this lawsuit.
Oh, I see.
We got some time before we're going to find out if it's going to be actually a viable cause of action.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
So let's move on. So obviously today was the beginning of the Trump hush money trial. This is where he hid money that he supposedly paid to
Stormy Daniels.
Stormy Daniels for an encounter that he says never happened. The money went through his fixer, Michael Cohen, who is now going to be a witness in the case. A star witness in the case. They are now trying to pick a jury in New York, where Trump has really not liked that all that well and hasn't been for years. Matter of fact, a lot of people think that he moved down to Mar-a-Lago full time because he was basically run out of New York. But how is this different than another jury case? I mean, it's a silly question, but what are some of the questions that they're being asked?
Yeah, so to get started, they impaneled 200 jurors, which was exactly 100% of all the jurors that had jury duty today showed up for this jury pool.
Really? Is that a lot, by the way, for it to call?
That's a big jury selection pool.
And what's the final jury count?
I believe it was 12 with 8 alternates.
It's going to be 12 with 8 alternates, okay.
And so so every single person who showed up for jury duty right now in Manhattan, all for this trial, they expected 40 people to be dismissed for admitting to having a bias against Donald Trump. They ended up letting go 96. So almost 50%
half. Yeah.
of the jury pool instantly. And those are the people just that admitted to it.
Now, out of curiosity, does this hurt? Does this hurt the prosecution's case? Because, Trump had said that he's not going to be able to get a fair case in New York. He's been saying that for years because of his reputation in New York, or that New Yorkers don't like him, or he just doesn't think that's going to happen because I guess it's a bunch of Democrats.
Yeah, apparently he did not do very well as far as the 2016 election goes in that area.
Right. So what happens then? I mean, this is voir dire, or is
this is jury voir dire,
Yeah.
and so conceptually speaking, you can always move venue. That was repeatedly denied in this case, so there might be an appellate issue there possibly. So ask whose team it benefits. So I think it benefits both teams a little bit. So on one hand, if you're the prosecutor, you want to know who you think might lean in your favor on the issues without being biased or prejudiced, meaning you don't want them to walk in and say, no matter what evidence I hear, Trump is going to jail. That's what you want to avoid.
Because you don't want to deal with that on appeal, and
Right.
definitely going to be appealed if he loses.
Right, and there's going to be social media sleuths that are going to be tracking down every single one of these jurors' posts for all
Right.
time. And I don't know if you know this, but Donald Trump has a lot of social media posts about him.
Yeah.
But here's where I think it's really interesting, and I think it's going to make it more challenging for Trump's defense team. So some of the interesting, so they have all the common stuff like where do you live, where do you work, what do you do, stuff that is pretty basic, background information. Then they have some information which is again not uncommon, any relatives or close friends that worked for the Trump organization. But then they got into some of the more unique things. And again, this is, I think, pretty interesting. Again, maybe more difficult for Trump, is have you, a relative or a close friend, ever volunteered for a Trump presidential campaign or any other political entity affiliated with Mr. Trump?
Right.
Which could be a lot of things. Like, so conceptually speaking, the NRA, right?
Right, yeah, sure.
And so that was pretty, a pretty interesting one, because any group potentially affiliated with them could be flagged.
Can I ask a question before we go any farther? When this appeals, because he's going to lose this case. I mean,
it seems.
Yeah, he's going to lose. There's no question he's going to lose. They've got him dead nuts, this whole thing. There's so much evidence. It's overwhelming. This is going to be an open shut case when he loses. Now, on appeal, can he talk about the jury selection? Is that part of the appellate's context?
Yeah, so assuming they preserve it for appeal, and I assume they would, then absolutely that's going to be something that's going to be ripe. And so even the change of venue, generally speaking, we don't argue that on appeal until after the trials happen.
Gotcha, okay.
And so they're preserving all these issues, and they're going to lump it all together to say, I told you I was never going to get a fair trial. I didn't get a fair trial, and here's all my evidence. They had a lot of organizations, QAnon, the Proud Boys, the Oath Keepers, the 3 Percenters, the Boogaloo Boys, and Antifa.
Boogaloo. Yeah, the Boogaloo Boys, yeah.
So that was a new one for me.
Hadn't heard of the Bugaloos, have you?
No.
It's a kid show back in the day, but they really turned.
But then they get into some really interesting.
Okay.
Have you ever listened to any audio or any podcasts that have featured Michael Cohen or Mark Pomerantz? And if so, if what you heard affected your ability to be fair and impartial. They also listed a number of movies. So People versus Donald Trump, Revenge, Mea Culpa, Disloyal, a memoir. The defendant has written a number of books. So Donald Trump has written a number of books. Have you listened to or read any of those? If so, which ones? Does that impact your feelings and opinions?
Yeah, I mean, back in the day, Art of the Deal was almost mandatory reading in some colleges. I remember that that was mandatory reading if you were in business school.
So when I was in high school, I think it was the honors program. I don't know. It was one of the
weird flex. That's
one
fine.
of the nerd things.
Gotcha,
but they gave that to us to read.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember reading it at the time. So there's a bunch of them. And I guess here's the point. None of these questions automatically disqualify you unless you say I'm biased. But what they're going to do is they're going to lead to additional questions. And it really goes into the challenging part of this case and any lawsuit involving any president, but specifically this one, this former president, is how do you find a jury panel that is
kind of New York, nonetheless, but
well, just one that doesn't have a strong feeling one way or the other,
right? And for a person who has completely and utterly dominated the political news cycle for the last 8 years,
right?
Without question, this guy's name appears on the front page of almost every reputable and non-reputable news site every single day for the last 8 years.
And it becomes a point where if there is someone who's not familiar with him, is what's wrong with that person, and should they be on a jury?
100%, Jack.
That actually does present a whole nother set of questions.
Let me ask you, are they allowed to ask them who they voted for in 16? Are they allowed to do that? Or in 20 for that matter?
Are they allowed to? The answer is maybe. And here's really what it really comes down to. When I've used jury questionnaires in the past, normally what we're going to do is we're going to get together, me and the other side, and we're going to come up with a list of the questions, and then we're going to read those to the judge and not say who listed it, but these are the questions we have. And the judge will say, that's good, that's not good. And so it's very possible and probably likely that the judge has said to them, don't ask that question.
Right.
Because they ask a lot of questions about supporting Donald Trump or any of the organizations that he's involved in.
Sure.
But they don't ask that question, which makes me then believe that was one of the things the judge said.
Right.
We're gonna poo-poo that. You're not going to be allowed to ask that question.
One of the big things in the court today was his mannerisms. This has happened before with him during the E. Jean Carroll case. His mannerisms were childish, childlike. Pouting, stomping. Putting his heads down, rolling his eyes. Doing stuff like that. Apparently, that is already in play again, biting his lip and things of that nature. As an attorney, if your client was doing those things, how would you handle that after you got out of court that day and away from the jury?
So normally, I set up the expectation with the client as we do all of our prep, exactly how that process is going to go. So sometimes there'll be like an elbow nudge, and that's like I just need to grab your attention, and I'll write something on it. I keep a notepad that's in between me and my client. So like I'll keep a notepad, and then I usually get a thumbs up or thumbs down, and their hands are supposed to stay in their waist. There's a certain
demeanor
that I want them to reflect. And that lets me know, okay, do I need to focus on this issue or not? If there's something where I need to get the client's attention, normally what I'll do is I'll just kind of do a little glance at them, and that lets them know that I'm watching them, which is not a good thing. I'm getting distracted. And then there's always the last case, which is I might kick you underneath the desk.
Really?
And if I do that, just stop whatever you're doing immediately.
Yeah.
And that happened because you have experiences in court, and you know that sometimes you need an immediate correction.
What happens when you have a client that's so defiant like this guy, who just simply will not listen to anybody, even though they're out for his own betterment?
Yeah.
Like, these are people there to help him, and he still will not listen to them. What do you do then? If you have a client that's so defiant they will not listen, do you just basically say, hey, look, man, you're putting us both in a bad position here. You're going to wind up losing because of your behavior.
I've got the benefit that I've got a pretty cool partner, and he's always given me a lot of leeway to work with clients that I want to work with. And so if you're my client, and I can say this without a doubt, and I am continuing to represent you, I like you enough as a person that I don't want to dump you.
All right.
I don't know if I'd want a client like former President Trump, where nothing I say or do is going to be...
Not matters. He's smarter than you.
Well, and that's a big part of it. And so I think the part of it is if that's the case, and that's the strategy you want to employ, we're going to have our own set of rules between the two of us,
right.
Which is I'm going to call you on your stuff if I think it's going to go bad, and you can give me your opinion, and that's fine. But I've maybe not him. He might have more courtroom experience than I do. But
that's funny. All right, hold on. Hold on, we're late. 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Back in a sec with we'll get the hell out of here and end up with Ray Trendley. We'll do that next.
Real Radio is on Threads at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
From the Cool Today Weather Center, cooltoday.com.
Hey there, Central Florida, Fox 35, Storm Team Meteorologist Noah Bergen here. Lots of sunshine.
over the next couple of days. 87 Tuesday, 88 Wednesday. We're in the low 90s Thursday, Friday, maybe mid-90s Saturday, Sunday. We'll challenge records in Central Florida this weekend. Next rain chance looks to be Monday into Tuesday of next week, but only minimal chances of rain and a little bit of a drop in temperature as we go about 8 to 9 days out from now.
This report is sponsored by USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
Every business faces challenges, but shipping shouldn't be one of them. Turn shipping to your advantage with USPS Ground Advantage from the United States Postal Service. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
When you get nachos, tacos, empanadas, spicy queso with jalapenos, Pepto-Bismol's there. Pepto-Bismol provides fast, effective relief from nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, and diarrhea. All the things that can happen unexpectedly on vacation. So before you travel, pack the Pepto. Pepto-Bismol.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Moments like making my kids my famous meatballs mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that has spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for adults with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
The countdown to the Paris Olympics is on. Hi, everybody. It's Savannah Guthrie.
I'm Hoda Kotb from the Today Show. We are so excited to kick off our celebration.
Yeah, this week, before the world gathers in the City of Light, Today is bringing its magic of Paris to the plaza.
And Wednesday, it's just 100 days to go. Team USA hopefuls and champions will be taking over all morning for a huge party.
It's going to be epic, so join us this week on NBC.
Because today is where the games begin.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
With 3 generations and over 45 years of Florida experience, Handyman Roofing knows storms and hurricanes. We know how to evaluate storm-damaged roofs and not cause more damage. Handyman Roofing has the expertise to get your roof done. Plus, easy financing in case your insurance company is dragging its feet. With multiple emergency response teams ready, Handyman Roofing will be by your side now when you need it the most.
Knows how to get things done. Count on Handyman Roofing to get it done. Handyman Roofing to get it done.
Doctors take Field of Greens for their own health. Here's Dr. Ryan Green to explain.
We're like you, too much fast food, not enough exercise. That's why I take Field of Greens. The fruits and vegetables in Field of Greens support my heart, lungs, kidneys, and metabolism for weight loss. And Field of Greens promises your doctor will notice your improved health or your money back.
Get 15% off with promo code RADIO at fieldofgreens.com. That's promo code RADIO at fieldofgreens.com. Product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Are you bogged down with constant sneezing, watery eyes, and congestion? Do you get sinus headaches and infections? No one should have to suffer season after season. And thanks to Aspire Allergy and Sinus, treating your allergies is easier than you think, with personalized treatment plans tailored to your needs and budget. you can say goodbye to allergy and sinus issues for good. Book your appointment today at AspireAllergy.com. Aspire Allergy and Sinus, where relief is just around the corner. AspireAllergy.com.
This is trial attorney Jeff Kaufman from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind. If you've been in a car accident, you need to know a term. It's called statute of limitations. That means you have 2 years from the time of the accident to actually file a lawsuit if need be. If you don't do that, you're going to lose your rights to the claim. Now, sometimes some lawyers will wait till the last minute to file or contact you with just about a month left saying that they don't know if they want to proceed with your case. Be careful with that. For more information, contact me at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546, office Orlando.
Stay tuned to the Jim Colbert Show as we demonstrate our attitude of gratitude. Our thank you segment is sponsored by Life Imaging FLA. Now open. Call pound 250 keyword heart scan. You're listening to the Jim Colbert Show, also available to watch at the Jim Colbert Show on YouTube.
Hey Jack, I got a promo soundbite opportunity if you didn't already grab it. But if you go back to the beginning of the 5 o'clock hour, towards the end of the first segment,
watch it.
You can hear Jim say, "Boys try to touch my junk." You're welcome.
Okay, buddy. I was quoting a Kesha song. That doesn't sound any better.
I'll pay to rip that. We can.
You shut up.
You got it, Ray.
I know an attorney, buddy. You got to be careful. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Welcome back. I am Jim. There's Deb.
Hello.
Jack is here.
Yeah.
And so is our buddy Ray Trendley. That's onefirmforlife.com. TK Law office is right there in Altamont Springs. And he's a good guy. A lot of legal disciplines handled over there in your building, buddy. Estate law, family law, divorces, trip and falls, all kinds of stuff.
A little bit of everything.
Real estate law?
Yeah, we do a little bit of that.
I'll be damned. Let's do You Heard It Here first.
It's time for You Heard It Here First on the Jim Colbert Show.
Yeah, some breaking stories that broke after woke news, starting with the federal judge is rejecting Rudy Giuliani's bid to dismiss a $148 million defamation judgment against him. The judgment was won by former Georgia election workers Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss. The mother and daughter were accused by Giuliani of committing election fraud while the two were counting ballots in Georgia's Fulton County on Election Day in 2020.
I bet it's just a matter of time before his best friend ever, Donald Trump, writes him a $141 million check so he can get out of that trouble.
Well, I'm wondering how he can still hang on to a $3 million apartment when he owes this kind of money.
It's in Florida, right?
I believe so, yeah.
That's why.
All right, Florida Forest Service crews are keeping close eyes on smoky conditions with brush fires burning around the state. Miami-Dade Fire Rescue's Erica Benitez says people with respiratory issues should try to avoid West Miami-Dade, with 2 blazes burning a combined more than 250 acres.
If you're at home or in your vehicle traveling, please keep your windows closed and your AC recirculating inside your vehicle or your home.
Yeah, in Polk County, several hundred acres scorched yesterday near Mulberry. In Highlands County, some residents were temporarily evacuated.
Damn.
As crews continue to battle a fire in Sebring, and in Boca Raton and Palm Beach County, a stubborn blaze keeps reigniting there. And of course, forest officials are concerned because we're going from a wet winter to a drier winter. I mean, look, 94 degrees on Saturday, and it's only April.
No rain in the forecast all week.
Exactly. So definitely, don't park your car on the side of the road where a spark could cause a grass fire. And then finally, CBS says it's going to re-air Billy Joel's concert special. Last night's pre-taped concert celebrating Joel's 100th residency show at Madison Square Garden got cut off by the CBS network in the middle of his song Piano Man. CBS apologized to Joel and his fans and says, quote, due to the overwhelming demand from his legion of fans, end quote, Joel's performance, filmed on March 28th, will air again in its entirety on April 19th at 9 p.m.
Oh, man.
And now you heard it here first on the Jim Colbert Show.
They are Metamucil mad. Oh, my God. So Metamucil mad. All right, Deb, who do we have?
It's a good show. They should re-air it. Come on.
Who do we have to thank today? Speaking of Metamucil.
Yeah.
Keeps me regular.
Somebody's venting.
Well, we want to thank first and foremost friendly attorney Ray Trendley.
Look at this handsome son of a bitch. Look at
TK
him.
Law, onefirmforlife.com.
Snappy dresser, nice watch, good haircut.
Such a gentleman.
I got a new suit for next week, too.
Oh, do you really?
Ooh.
Fine gentleman. Yeah.
Also want to thank Brandon Kravitz, another fine gentleman. And speaking of fine people, Sam Bowen and Candace Rich for running our YouTube
Thanks,
chat.
guys. We appreciate that greatly. Jack, question of the day?
Yeah, do you own or rent? What do you think?
I'm going to tell you, buddy, I think it's right down the middle. I think it's 50-50.
74% own.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
That's in our YouTube chat.
That's
people.
awesome.
Yeah.
Good job, man.
It's too expensive to rent now.
It is, but boy, I got to tell you, I'm doing it right now because we're staying somewhere for a little bit. It's great to not have to fix a leak.
That's nice.
Or do any of that stuff. Again, that's TK Law, onefirmforlife.com. Office is right there in Altamont Springs. Ray Trendley comes in on Mondays. We appreciate that. Good seeing you, boss.
Good seeing you guys. I appreciate you.
Let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I agree.
Coming up tomorrow, we have What'd You Do That's New. We have our buddy Scott Brown from Edgewater Family Wealth as well, plus your calls, texts, and talkbacks. 4 more opportunities for you to win $1,000.
And Sabrina from the News Junkie will be joining us tomorrow for What'd You Do That's New.
Oh, my God. This thing tomorrow is going to be a mess.
I know.
All right, on behalf of Deb Jack and our buddy Ray, I am Jim. We follow the News Junkie. They follow the Monsters of the Morning. After us, it's Tom and Dan with the Corporate Time and our friends from Real Laughs. We'll see you tomorrow at 3 for more of the Jim Colbert Show. Until then, have yourself a fantastic Monday evening.
Bye.
Underwear since like 85.
A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan is coming up next on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Looking at delays on I-4 this afternoon, east and westbound in the Orlando area, but mostly just by the major attractions exits. Delays continue due to an earlier disabled vehicle that was blocking multiple lanes northbound on the Greenway between the Turnpike exit and Landstar Boulevard. If you run into any traffic problems tonight in the Orlando area, just make sure you call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Samantha Canning.
This report is sponsored by Blue Stream Fiber.
HOA and condo board members, it pays to have fiber. Let Blue Stream Fiber show you how fiber internet provides revenue for communities while saving up to 50% off retail